you hiding here in the near clear blue?
He's been cited by IGN, The Quartering, Timcast, The Daily Wire, Bounding into Comics, and even Dr. Jordan B. Peterson.
What?
Hey, the Pro Show is on!
Awesome! Let's turn it on.
Guys? Where'd you go?
Morty, let's check in on Ryan Johnson's new trilogy.
Okay. I bypassed the compressor.
What did you do, Ray?
Son of a... That's gonna leave a mark.
Now, he was okay, after 6-7 weeks. Okay? They get over it. Kids are resilient like that.
Yeah. I hate it.
It's the standard, what would George do?
I don't want you here.
So sorry, George. I didn't think it would go like this.
Fly, you fools!
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
Weird. Stay away from liquor, kids.
I have always liked Cowabunga.
Cowabunga!
Now that's more like it, Mr. Wayne.
It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward.
The Force will be with you. Always.
That's how winning is done.
I am vengeance. I am the night.
That's what she said.
I am Batman.
If I won tonight, I would come home and we'd celebrate. Well, I'm coming home, we're celebrating. God bless you all.
Watch your habits, for they become your character. And watch your character, for it becomes your destiny. What we think, we become.
It's scooping time.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, in just 2 minutes, the lighting at the Magic Kingdom will dim for the performance of the Pro Show. We hope you enjoy and have a magical, truthful time. For the safety of others, please, no flash photography. And welcome to Provision 3D.
All right, everyone, put on your coffee glasses. I'm going. Shut up now.
Keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
You know that you've been taught the golden rule, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you.
Yes, Paul.
Autobots, roll out!
I'm bringing the party to you.
If somebody's gonna try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money?
Fortune and glory, kid. Fortune and glory.
Chicken jockey! Alright, it's time to go to school, son. Come on, get your hands up, man!
Are you okay?
They'll never take our freedom!
I grew up through wars, poverty, and my life's falling apart. But Wilton's life, well, he's never really lived. He needs legs. Hi. Wilton the Troll doesn't have any legs, and I feel so bad for him. I'm really excited to help. I'm emptying my piggy bank and giving all my birthday money so he can get better.
Wilton is precious. He said I remind him of his mom.
I really like Wilton the Troll, so I'm gonna empty my piggy bank and my education account to help him. Wilton needs legs more than I need college right now.
I'm honestly just sad for Wilton. He was born with no legs. And me, I got this wheelchair.
I've dealt with my own challenges, so when I heard about him, I knew I had to step up.
Wilton told me he could help me with my computer because I remind him of his mom. But then I did something wrong and it completely broke my computer, so I'm emptying my savings account to help him instead.
Wilton, you're my favorite troll now.
I'm donating because Wilton deserves to feel like he's not alone.
He needs our help.
He's gonna be so happy.
He also told me I was pretty. And I like that too.
Commander Cody, the time has come, homie. Execute Order 66. I'm still alive, motherfucker.
Come on, get the bear. Come on, get the bear. Come on, get the bear. Pepper floods and beats about care. Oh, culture.
All right, folks, it's been a clip-a-thon to get started today, but
how many? I was wondering how many clips you were planning on playing.
There's only one thing we missed, Marv. Yes.
My favorite awkward moment was last night when you played the Wilton Legacy clip, and then we found out that our guest Danny was an amputee. I was like, oh, that's phenomenal.
Yeah, we always like to really drive home the cringe. I mean, to the maximum, like the celebrities are doing today, and that's what we're going to be talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready because it doesn't get more upsetting. No, I'm not saying that like we're not upset, folks. It's just disturbing the level of narcissism that is on display, and they really should see some sort of medical expert to help them with it. We'll get into it all. Marv is with us, Culture Casino as well. The call has gone out for Flash. That's right, Yellow Flash joining us today, and Kara will be stopping by soon, along with others. And folks, you have gone to the show like no other, where we are breaking news and getting millions of views covering all this Star Wars stuff. And we've got one story right off of the starting line. Back to Star Wars we go, because wouldn't you know it, there's even more. There's even more about the sequel trilogy. All right, we've got Marv of the M4 Empire and Culture Casino of the Culture Casino. They're both here with us today. And guys, are you ready to get underway?
Let's do it.
Culture.
Yes, of course I am. I'm stoked. I'm excited. I'm pumped up. I couldn't be more enthusiastic.
Culture, can we get a whoop whoop?
Whoop whoop.
We got a whoop whoop. All right, folks, here's the whoop whoops for us. The first Dragon Queen member for 17 months. 2 subs, and I release my logo. The next person in the bear suit and a sneak peek at the legacy. I promise some legs are involved. Not mine. Hugs for all. Little Wilton's legs. Paggy Protons for 2. Prediction, Mando dies in this movie.
You know what? We were talking about that a bit last night, and I'm willing to believe that he might, because I don't think that Lucasfilm and Pedro get along very well, based on what Danny was saying last night. I could see them moving on.
There's only one thing I can guarantee you. The Muppet will not die.
Oh, of course not.
No, not going to kill Grogu. That would hurt toy sales. What little toy sales they have.
Yeah, what sales? I mean, if they had any merchandise sales to speak of, is there any character currently driving interest? Do they have any monsters that people are into? Is there a market, for their action figures anymore?
It would be like deflating BB-8 Culture. Nobody's buying it, but they're still not going to do it. There's still hope is out there for them. Packing for 5. Sent you a video on Twitter. I think you had a creepy ghost EVP last night on your show that no one reacted to. Ooh. Packing again for 5. Are we sure Starfighter is even happening now? It could have tied heavily into the sequel trilogy. I don't think it has anything to do with the sequel trilogy, and my understanding is they're already into post-production, so yeah, Starfighter's coming.
Yeah, Starfighter's happening.
All right, look at all these wonderful gifted memberships. We've got Texas 8412 out there, dropping 5 WDW Pro memberships right off the start. God dang it, from the bottom of our hearts.
God dang it, from the bottom of our hearts here on the WDW Pro Channel. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. We've got Liam out there becoming a YouTube member. It's good to have you aboard. Welcome, welcome. Eric Stratton has become, what should we say? A gifted giver. Dropping 10 WDW Pro memberships. Guys, I'm going to click the button. You guys get to stay this time. No telling what will happen in the background. Oh, it just did that. Okay, well, thank you, StreamYard. Eric, this one is for you.
Every time a membership is gifted, a content creator gets his wings.
Is that gendered language?
We're not at Magic Kingdom, Dad.
And then again, another 10 given by Packing Protons. Wowza. Thank you all. Thank you. So kind. And we appreciate you truly. Mark Fields for $1.99 to the awesome panel and chat. Positive vibes. And back at you, Mark. May you have a wonderful day. Haley for 5. Pro, if you were going to be completely open and honest, as I always am, you missed the culture sizzle and Marvelous Marvin's Mayhem clips as well. Guys, should we go there?
I mean, we've only got a 2-hour show.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like already half the show's been clips at this point, but I'm okay with that. But
good point. Why don't we do something that I think combines all of that together into a single clip of awesomeness? And I think it's appropriate for today, because today is Revenge of the Fifth.
You have every honor that a man could have. You've got almost Oscars. No Oscar. No Oscars.
The winner is...
I know, Ron. What an awkward moment. All right, please welcome to the fun. Follow the Bradley's fun. And Ron, welcome aboard. You've got some stuff to share. I don't know what it is yet, but you've spoken with someone at Disney, at Galaxy's Edge. Is this going to be newsworthy, Ron? Is this going to be the kind of thing that shakes the access media to their core?
Probably not. It was just surprising coming from a cast member. That's all.
Okay. Hold on a second. We'll talk about it. Arch Merchant for 5. As their pleasure of vanity goes up, I think the studios and boards realize they created screeching monsters that burn money in dresses and skirts and all kinds of fun things. SFX F314 Saber to the Raptor for 5. WDW Pro or Barman. Someone needs to be on the AI Borland.
Al Borland.
Oh, Al Borland. Sorry. Why did I do that? If I'd read the second part, I would have got it. Al Borland for culture on his Guarded channel. One holding cardboard safety signs for the audience.
I mean, I've got the beard, so maybe I should be Al Borland.
I would love for you to join me on that garden place sometime. I think it'd be.
I don't think so, culture.
Marv, would you be willing to wear flannel if you showed up there?
I do have flannel.
Okay. Flannel's nice. All right, Ron, you spoke with somebody at Galaxy's Edge. What's the fun story here?
It was just okay. So the first one was at the Chewbacca was doing a meet and greet at a very different place, and you know, the big thing at Galaxy's Edge was that they came up with this whole backstory, so you could say bright suns to the cast members, and they'd like respond in kind and blah 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 whatever. So the first one was
anymore.
So I said bright suns to the cast members, and they literally just got it turned around and I was like, oh dear Lord. God, that's the attitude that I felt that they had. It was just funny to me. But the second one was even more interesting. So I was up above the Millennium Falcon, that little balcony that overlooks the Millennium Falcon. Tons of people there, all gathered with their lightsabers and getting ready for sundown and all that. And I said, I asked the cast member that was there, I'm like, so they just come in and they're all like waiting for the picture, right? She goes, yeah, it's not even a show or anything. I mean, it was just like none of the cast members seemed to care to be there on this, you know, day that all these Star Wars people are celebrating. And I'm like, this is just so it's so different than the way it was during Star Wars weekends just a little over a decade ago. So I don't know. I was just taken aback by it, and it wasn't necessarily bad. It was just the attitude. Surprising.
The excitement, the enthusiasm has been drained from the veins of Star Wars fans, unfortunately. And for those who had fun on May the 4th, I hope you did. I hope you celebrated the original Star Wars stuff. Hope you had a good time. Folks, we've got a good time on the way right now. 500 of the finest looking folks out there on the interwebs. We welcome you across the YouTubes, the X's, the Instagrams, the Tickety Talks, and everywhere else you might be. And we've got a show for you. We're going to start off with Star Wars, but just a heads up, ladies and gentlemen, we will be going into celebrity news in a way that we have seldom ever done before. We are going to slam the celebs because they want us to. I mean, honestly, at this point, it is fish at the bottom of a barrel. We've got Zegler, we've got RDJ saying crazy things, and Tim Allen, frankly, has had enough of all of it, and he is fighting back. Tim Allen finally is sick of the celebrities. We'll be talking about all that. Please note, we will have a special edition of the Pro Show tomorrow morning. I did not consider how busy this week was going to be. Oh my gosh, what a marathon and a sprint combined together it's going to be. But tomorrow morning, special edition of the Pro Show, because we're covering the Disney earnings report. We'll start off on Valiant Renegade tomorrow. I assume about 8 a.m. Eastern time. Once Valiant Renegade concludes, we'll be going over to the Pro Show and then to that Park Place at noon. So get ready. Lots of stuff. Josh tomorrow's first big earnings call begins tomorrow at 8 a.m. Coverage begins on Valiant Renegade. Gentlemen, it's time. Let's dive in. Ron, you're going to disappear, but fear not. We'll bring you right back in. All right, let's hit it. It's Star Wars. And the Access Media, they were not prepared for us being so darn right. The Access Media had no idea that you, me, and everybody else in between, well, we were right and they were wrong. And now they're singing a different song. They've been telling you now for a decade plus, the sequel trilogy is super popular. It's just a very vocal minority. It's those darn MAGA Russian bot trolls. It turns out,
and they try to say, it's very popular with kids and younger audiences, and it's not.
Popular. One day it'll be popular. Here we go, folks. Tom Phillips writing this for IGN. And what is that over there? 330? Oh, IGN celebrating 30. Okay, I thought we were like on ESPN the Ocho for a minute. IGN 3, where we put the stories to die. No, it's 30 years of IGN. All right. Star Wars viewing figures show disturbing lack of faith in sequel trilogy. Oh, are you disturbed, Tom Phillips? I'm so sorry. Here we go. Newly released viewing figures for Star Wars movies and TV shows have revealed a surprising lack of interest in the franchise's recent sequel trilogy era. And now fans are discussing how this may already be impacting Disney's plans for the series going forward. AKA Tom Phillips at IGN knows what Pro said, but we're not going to report on it because we can't give power to the peeps out there who are
covering
the real stuff.
It is astounding to me how many people are citing this story and not crediting you.
Isn't it wonderful? Nielsen broadcasting data for 2025 has given fans an intriguing peek behind the curtain of Disney Plus's usually opaque viewing figures and revealed exactly which Star Wars movies and TV shows are being binged and rewatched. And unfortunately, it's not great news for the sequels. Of the 33 billion minutes spent watching Star Wars content in 2025, 44.2% of that time was spent viewing Star Wars live-action films, with A New Hope, The Phantom Menace, and Rogue One in the top 3. Now, you all know the news we know, which is the sequel trilogies are not in the top 10 at all. It says, it's interesting here to see that the franchise's original film still remains the most popular, followed by the once derided Phantom Menace. It says in recent years, the prequel trilogy is now looked upon by a younger cohort of fans with kinder eyes. Can I tell you what's really going on there? People are wanting to watch the trilogies as sort of they binge watch the 3. And so the first one gets the most watch time because some people don't finish the trilogies. So people are like, you know what? We should watch the prequels. Which one we start with? Phantom Menace every single time. That's why the first of these 2 trilogies is doing that. Okay. So it goes on to talk about just how they're shocked. Nielsen does not go on to list out the rest of Star Wars movies. There's not many left. It's just Disney sequel trilogies that didn't make the list. But it says it has provided what was being watched specifically on May 4th of 2025. And it goes on to talk about the movies that were being watched. Of course, you know it's George Lucas stuff. Well, folks, what if I told you that we've looked at a new document here, and we've come to an even bigger conclusion. Matt Bellany of Puck is putting this out there. Despite all the original shows on Disney Plus, the 11 Star Wars movies generated more viewing time streaming in 25. Now, here's what you need to know. When we look at the percentage of the top 10 that they gave us, that was only measured on May the 4th last year.
Mm-hmm.
However, this graph sneakily, and it makes you wonder why they did that. Is it even worse? Is it even worse for Disney Star Wars if they do the whole year? Because here, this one is all of 2025, not just May the 4th. And I dare say, folks, it's probably worse for Disney because, let me explain. This is being measured. This graph is being measured based on minutes watched. Now, if you know anything about the live action series, which is in orange, those have a huge number of minutes. I mean, you think about the number of minutes that are in some of these animated shows that have multiple seasons. You think about Andor has like 18 hours. The movies, of which only 6 or 7 are actually being watched, the 6 George Lucas ones and Rogue One, they're 2 hours each. So the fact that the live action movies are registering more than anything else means not only are people going and watching the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy, but they're doing it to such a degree that it's actually overcoming all the hours of content that Disney has created, all the investment that Disney has done. 6 George Lucas movies plus Rogue One, that is defeating everything that has been created by Disney to try to be the next modern Star Wars. Marv, I suspect that it made Andor look good to only measure a single day. And I suspect that if they had done the top 10 for the entire year, it would have been even more embarrassing for Disney. And I also suspect, Marv, although I cannot prove this, I'm way out there in speculation territory. And this is not a rumor. This is not something that's been handed to us. It's not a leak. But I wonder if Disney and Nielsen collaborated on how they were going to release this, because it's just interesting to me that from graph to graph, it's different times that we're viewing and reporting on, but we don't really say that in the big print. Marv, your thoughts?
Well, I mean, like I said last night, when they released this on through Variety, the angle is not look how little the sequels are being watched. The angle is look how much Star Wars is being watched, how popular Star Wars is. That Star Wars isn't dead, essentially. And I think that's kind of the message they're trying to go for is, look, we're not dead. People still watch the old stuff. And I think that is leading into this push to keep the old stuff alive. We're seeing it with, the drops that they're doing for merchandise and the drops that they're doing for specialized things like May the 4th. It's all original trilogy stuff and has been for quite some time. They are no longer positioning the sequel trilogy as the centerpiece of the franchise. We are back to Luke Skywalker. We are back to Darth Vader. Rey and Kylo Ren are complete and utter afterthoughts at this point. I mean, if they were still even slightly interested in the Star Wars sequel trilogy, they would have greenlit that Hunt for Ben Solo movie, and KK wanted to greenlight it. That's why the information about this got leaked the way it did. It's because they were trying to pressure Disney into greenlighting a sequel trilogy movie, and it did not work. Disney was not moving on it. Lauren says it all the time. The Acolyte spooked them. The Acolyte got them terrified. And at that point in time, they realized that they had a major problem on their hands, and they had to get all away from this Kathleen Kennedy stuff. No more Acolyte. Cancel that. We never cancel anything at Lucasfilm, but we're canceling this. This is the one thing where they're never going to make another season of Skeleton Crew, but they're not canceling Skeleton Crew. They canceled the Acolyte for a reason. They were trying to reassure fans, no, this is not coming back. We are moving on. We have learned our lesson. And now they are doing things like not approving the Hunt for Ben Solo and shelving the Rey movie. All of these things all contribute to this narrative that the sequels and Kathleen Kennedy's The Force's female vision are on the back burner, on the way out. It's time to return to things that actually matter. And we'll just see if Dave Filoni is the guy to do that. I personally don't think he is. So,
Culture, as we look at this chart, what is fascinating to me is we know the numbers here. We know that the 6 George Lucas movies plus Rogue One is essentially 14 hours of content. Now, We also know that that orange bar represents everything live action else there is. Okay, so how many hours are in The Mandalorian? Well, there are, 30 episodes of The Mandalorian, so that's 30 hours. Plus you've got the Book of Boba Fett, 40 hours. You got Obi-Wan, 50 hours. You got, we can go through it. We can keep going. Andor, that's going to put us at 70 hours. And we can keep going and going and going and going. The bottom line is this is being measured in watch time. The movies are probably, if there's 14 hours of movies to watch, there's probably 140 hours of live action series to watch.
Yeah.
Movies are outperforming something that is 10 times favored to beat them.
Yeah. Yeah, look, it's disgusting that this chart came out the way that it did, not representative of the total amount of TV hours being represented. A lot of the early Mando episodes were 38 minutes long, 42 minutes long, something like that. But again, that's just Disney shortcutting and, filling in with other stuff. But, people like the original films. They have zero interest in the sequel trilogy. And I think that speaks to why a lot of things that Disney tried to do, even including the thing you talked about that got canceled. Did
the Access Media buy the lies culture? Did they buy?
Of course, no. They're not buying them. They're helping to sell them. This is the difference between us at that Park Place when I'm riding over there and what Marvin's been cited 3 times in the last 2 days for articles he's written, and there's a reason for that, because actual journalism happens in a different way now than it used to, and it's from the independent side of the equation. So when you ask me a question like that, I'm going to promote Marvin and his team over at that Park Place and his team over at the Geeks and Gamers that he works with over there. Marvin for that Park Place, great editor. Alex, great editor on the other side of the equation. Everybody's doing a good job right now, and we're
not surprised. Culture,
yeah. Oh no,
nobody at that Park Place or Geeks and Gamers was shocked that the sequel trilogy. In fact, 24 hours before this came out, we came out and said sequel trilogy is so unpopular they're going to have to throw it away. 12 hours, 24 hours later,
I remember
Nielsen is reporting on this, and of course we get no credit, but we don't care. 100% we don't care because we're winning.
Geeks and Gamers article on your scoop regarding the sequel trilogy possibly being retconned or split into its own timeline, that has over 10 million views right now on X. So it is getting around there. Word is getting out. Independent journalism is the name of the game. So, I mean, look at it in terms of things that are, far bigger and more important than things like Star Wars. Like Nick Shirley right now is the only guy who's doing like actual investigative journalism. When it comes, it's up to 16.7 million views.
16.7 million views. So this is why we don't care if IGN gives us credit and they semi steal the scoop. We don't care because people are looking at what we're doing. And folks, what we're trying to do is we're trying to approximate the truth with a capital T. Like we're trying to break the real news. And we were not surprised. We were not shocked that the sequel trilogy is a loser.
Let me throw some compliments at you, Pro. One of the things that you pride yourself on, and I think we all do, is we provide context to what's being done. There's no context in again, the media carrying the water for Hollywood. This is the problem with the trades these days. It's why there is no investigative journalism anymore from the lamestream side of the equation, right? I mean, it's the context of what's being talked about, what the story is, that context is. Not a narrative that we want to push out there, but the actual context and what it means in terms of business realities.
When they said the day that when we found out 72 hours before that Daisy Ridley was going to come on the celebration stage and they were going to try to make a Ray movie, we didn't come out and say that's not going to happen and blah 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 blah. We didn't do a story about Kathy is definitely 100% she's going to leave in the next day or so. We reported what we knew, which was there's a Ray movie. Did that make our audience happy? Probably not. You think everybody was like, woohoo, go Pro, report on another Ray movie, we love you. No. But you know what people like? They like accuracy. When 24 hours later, 72 hours, they were told the truth. Mm-hmm. That's what they like. Marv, by the way, phenomenal job on covering all this. And it would not have gotten out there in the way that it has without you and the tremendous article. I want to go to Ron. Ron, I think that the narrative is also being switched because the Mandalorian Grogu is finally exposing all this. Disney can hide the Disney Plus numbers. They can't hide box office numbers. They would like to hide box office numbers, but I think this is partly to why the call has gone out to Nielsen. Go ahead and tell them the truth. We've got to start switching this. Sequel trilogy is not popular. We have to make a change.
They do. So they did something to Star Wars fans. I was thinking about this in my head. A woman gets married, young, beautiful dress, and she's got like everything about her wedding day is great, and she's got this incredibly great wedding dress, beautiful, white, long train, everything. And 40 years goes by, and somebody else gets a hold of the dress and says, "Oh, I'm going to do this wonderful thing for her, and I'm going to take this dress that she's saved all these years, and I'm going to redecorate it." And they dress it up and they put like splash paint all over it. And they think that they've done this incredible job, but they've done it all with themselves in mind, Kathleen Kennedy. And then they present it back to this woman and she's like, "What did you do to my dress?" And I think that's what the way the fans feel about Star Wars with the sequel trilogies. They ruined something that fans have loved for decades. And you cannot do that and expect a good return. And they did it because they didn't treat Star Wars as something that the fans loved. They treated it as something that they could use to try and preach their own values to fans that had nothing to do with Star Wars whatsoever. And and now they've been exposed. They've been exposed, like we've been exposing them for years, but Kathleen Kennedy's gone, and Disney knows that they need to make a pivot. They have a new CEO. They have to make money. They spent billions of dollars on this franchise. And these things, the original trilogy, that's still popular, right? I mean, I've still got my box set. I still love old Star Wars. I'm still a fan of that. But like, I don't see that when I go to Galaxy's Edge East. Maybe they're starting to see that more. Galaxy's Edge West with Han and Solo, with Han and Leia and Luke being introduced over there. And maybe they're going to use this whole world between worlds thing to try and reset the trilogy. I don't really know what they're going to do, but they have to do something if they're going to save Star Wars.
We saw, now that they've added the original trilogy characters back into Disneyland, the Disneyland May the 4th crowd was massive. What was that?
I was saying, let me see if I can get a picture of that. Go ahead.
I believe Vash shared one on X, but it was a sea of humanity at Galaxy's Edge, which it has not been that way on May 4th for a very long time. Yep. And here it is.
Right. All because people are excited for the original characters.
Yep.
There you go. Vash has got one from Disneyland. I think this is Disney World. I could be wrong about that, by the way. But people are excited. People are excited about the original characters. I think there's an enthusiasm in Florida that, hey, those characters are going to come over to the East Coast soon, and it's really generating. This is what people wanted. It's amazing. I've said this before. I'll say it one last time because we do have so many new viewers and people who may not have heard this. It would be like if you bought Batman. It would be like if you bought Batman and you said, I don't really want to use Batman. We're gonna do some new character, maybe like Bat Teen Girl, and somebody's like, well, we already got it. Some female characters that are really cool. No, we're gonna use Bat Teen Girl, and she's gonna be the bestest ever. And we're not gonna have Batman. We're not gonna have Robin. And the person said, well, why did you buy this then? Why did you buy Batman? I mean, that's how it's felt being, somebody watching Star Wars. It's like, you bought Star Wars, but you don't like Star Wars.
We were given a phenomenal, social experiment this past weekend. Because, they've been trying to market Star Wars and Marvel to women now for several years. They don't want it. They don't show up. They don't actually, participate in going to the films, going to the theaters. And then what did they just put out this week? The Devil Wears Prada 2. And it shattered expectations because it's an actual thing designed for women, featuring things that women want. Women don't want Star Wars. They don't want superheroes unless they're going with their boyfriend and get to watch Chris Hemsworth take his shirt off. They want things things about things like fashion and glamour and things that they are interested in. That's why Barbie made $1 billion. And that's why The Devil Wears Prada made, I believe, close to 100 million in its opening weekend, if not more.
Globally it was over 233 million.
That's insane, man.
Yeah,
like when you actually
huge.
give, and you know what? We were there. I was there Friday. My wife was super excited about this movie. She's not excited about anything Star Wars or Marvel. She wants to see The Devil Wears Prada. Well, I'm sitting there asking her if Dior is real or if they made that up for the movie.
Here we go again. Marv suggesting that men and women are different, which, by the way, is exactly how Star Wars was led astray. Don't forget, folks, how did this all begin? Kathleen Kennedy went to Iger, reportedly, allegedly, and this is in books. This is written out. This is not from me. Kathleen Kennedy, at the beginning of the whole deal, went to Bob Iger and said, what if we have a way that we'll sell all the same number of toys to boys, but we'll bring in the girls too, and we'll do it with Ray. And ladies and gentlemen, it's time to bring in one of our favorite friends. Kara Lynn is here. Kara, welcome.
What's up? I just heard you guys talking about Devil Wears Prada, and I am one of the people who put money towards that movie.
Did you like it? What did you think of it?
I didn't dislike it. I thought it was pretty even killed. It wasn't as like iconic as the first one. It was still just as shallow, but like you walk out and you're like, man, I really need to dress better.
You know what? Like, so I saw, like I said, I saw it with my wife, and I'm not expecting, like, I liked the first movie well enough, and I was kind of expecting to, like, you know, just kind of like casually like this one the way I did. I wasn't expecting it to speak to me from a journalism perspective, and it did. Like, she has that line where she's like, it's not about writing what I think people need to hear. It's about writing what people want to read. And I was like, ooh, I was not expecting this movie to speak to me at all. And it did.
That and like they kind of make digs at like clickbait and like that kind of stuff. They're like, that's not what actually matters. Yeah, it's going to get people to click on it, but people aren't going to actually like read it and pay attention to it and want to like continue investigating more, getting their opinion into like that cause. And like for those who watch the movie, like that's what kind of like the stories that she really invests in are the ones that end up saving the company in the long run, even if they didn't really matter a whole lot right then and there. Yep. Somebody that actually cared is somebody who helps save the company.
Yep, absolutely. And that's I really liked it from that perspective. They did kind of ruin Miranda as a character for me though.
Yeah, they definitely, she wasn't I think they did that on purpose. Because they want to see that, like, she's trying to kind of go with the flow of the millennials or the Gen Z and stuff. And, like, you realize, like, Gen Z isn't really getting shit done. Sorry, excuse my language.
Emily Blunt's star shining brighter now, Kara.
I'm sorry?
Emily Blunt's star shining even brighter now.
I liked Emily Blunt in it.
She's always good in everything.
She had a villain role in it, like, to an extent. And I enjoyed it.
I've heard a lot of people say that she's one of the ones that really, you know, continued to impress. A few of the others may have phoned it in a little bit. Did you feel that way? That, you know, like Meryl Streep maybe just said, yeah, I'm here again.
I think I might agree with that. I think that Meryl Streep, she didn't bring the same gravitas to the role that she brought the first time because she wasn't allowed to be as mean and nasty
And HR keeps on getting on to her about it too. Like she was calling people like fat and stuff. You can't say that. You can't say that. Like
it was fat. All right, folks, we got some fat super chats out there. Let's put them up on the screen, and then we're going to be raining down terror on the celebrities. Oh my gosh, folks! And by the way, Zegler's back again. Wolf of McGruffle, the crime dog for 10. Thank you, Pro and team, and chat for bringing some joy, especially during some otherwise tough times. I'm glad I found this network of channels. We're glad that you found us as well. We feel like we found you. And folks, we are just too darn blessed to have the community that we do. It's phenomenal. It's fantastic. It makes us look forward to every brand new day. We get invited into your homes, your devices, and wherever we might be on this planet. And yes, it's so fun to hear. Pro, I can't wait to listen to your voice every single day in Thailand, or I can't wait to hear your voice in Cairo. You just don't know where we are, but the signal is strong and the hamsters continue moving on. The first Dragon Queen for 5. Actually, the legs I have are larger than the tiny ones. Far, far larger. HCS, a certain skeleton is sitting in SOS. That's right.
Nothing beats a great pair of legs.
All right, ZZ. You're starting to convince everybody you really are out of the band. Archer Merger for 5. I can confirm that even in the past, it was a known failure. Galaxy Edge had dedicated crews, staffing, etc., anticipating crowds that fell off weeks in. Don't forget, folks, it was called Project Stardust. That was the effort to widen the pathways in Disneyland because they thought they were going to be crushed with crowds coming for Star Wars. They opened the thing up, and guess what? Attendance actually went down. And then there were the stories of, well, Disney actually wanted attendance to go down. They were planning this all along. They want you to have a better experience. Yeah, sure they do. We got Tropical Land in Antarctica. You want to buy it? Kelly out for 5. Illidan Storm Rage. You are not prepared. Was more prepared, and he only lost his eyesight to Blizzard. Yeah, well, you know, he's still running around doing Demon Hunter things.
If I can clarify a comment, Pro, just because I saw it in the chat.
Please.
I'm not making a generalized statement about, you know, what women want to see. I'm talking about, like, by and large, like large groups of people. There are women that obviously like things like Marvel and Star Wars, but they were going to see it when it was being designed for men.
Right.
They were part of the crowd already going to see it. Changing it to being for women was what made it not appeal to the masses. And that was the point I was
I bought my tickets 3 weeks before the showing, and it was almost sold out.
For Devil Wears Prada?
For Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah.
For women, by women. That's what Disney's been for the last several years.
And we're always...
But that's not that's not the audience. Like,
Yeah.
I am a girl, and I would like I do not see Star Wars and Marvel as girl brands. It shouldn't be girl brands. Yeah, having some female fans is a perk for them. It does not need to be the target.
Right. I mean, there are some guys who went and they enjoyed Barbie. Does Barbie need to start trying to get in the boy aisle? Heck no. Just goodbye Barbie the minute you decide, what if we didn't aim for girls to play with Barbie dolls anymore? That would be a great idea. Great idea.
Pro, that's actually being done with Masters of the Universe movie.
Well, we'll see, won't we? That's going to be coming out real soon. Yeah. Jeremiah Embry helping us keep those radioactive hamsters running on the wheel. We had people asking us yesterday, what's up with the references to hamsters? Well, folks, did you not know that Somewhere Sunny USA is powered? The airwaves are being powered right now by the radioactive hamsters that you feed. Watch them go, watch them go. Those pellets ain't cheap, let me tell you. Thank you, Jeremiah. We appreciate you, as well as DeBelly, who is filling the belly of the hamsters. Thank you so much. Archer Merchant for 5. After 6 to 8 weeks, land interest dropped significantly, talking about Galaxy's Edge, and it became smoke and mirrors and hubris because Iger refused to allow it to be called a failure. Same thing with the sequel trilogy, right? Hide the numbers.
Well, I mean, they were forced kicking and screaming to close the Star Cruiser because that was just bleeding money on such an extent.
Well, they couldn't. The other thing about the Star Cruiser, the hotel, was you had to have it at least. It had to have enough people in it to make the competition work because it was a competition. You had little games and things. If there were, if it had 25% of the rooms filled, you couldn't do what it was designed to do. It was never designed to run less than 80% capacity. So it literally had to close, and that was the sequel trilogy. That's what we know now. It's if you put something, if you strap something to the sequel trilogy, it's toast. It's over. There is no support for it whatsoever.
Strap it.
The first Dragon Queen for 2. I knew you were going to say that. Goal, my goal. Give me a minute. LOL. Way to go. First Dragon Queen back in for 5. Logo is up. Person in a bear suit tagged on X. Preview after my stream. Very cool. Looking forward to it. Jeremiah is back. Member for 35 months. Please talk about GameStop. Will it buy eBay?
Yes.
What I found on eBay. All right, Culture. You have any answers on this one? Have you been following the GameStop eBay?
I strongly suspect that we're going to see one meme stock acquire eBay. I have a feeling.
Is somebody going to snipe it? Are they going to get it at the last minute? They're going to come in with seconds left, and
I think it's overvalued, but I don't think anybody's going to come in with a bigger offer. So I think the GameStop thing is the most likely outcome, which according to Elon Musk is the most hilarious. So I'm looking forward to that.
I think that cosmic justice is that in the last 1 or 2 seconds, somebody must come in with a giant offer that beats everybody else for eBay. It just has to happen. It just must. All right, we've got Kayla for 5. Kara, tell Pro you need a Pika versus Grogu intro clip.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, but I don't really care that much about Grogu. So just give me all about Pikachu.
It could be Pikachu shocking Grogu. Did you go to Target for the Pokemon drop?
No, I didn't.
Okay, my wife went and she got a whole bunch of stuff.
The closest Target to me is like half an hour away, and I just didn't feel like it was like I enjoy Pokemon, but I've got to be smart about that stuff, and there was a couple of things that I wanted, but I wasn't going to drive half an hour to maybe get something.
Is it true that people memorize when Pokemon cards and things will be delivered to retail and they're there before the thing opens? And
there's a guy who got arrested for trying to hide inside a Best Buy overnight to get
1
Pokemon
a.m.
cards. Yeah, 1 a.m.
What was his strategy? Where did he hide?
I don't know. He hid. There's an article about it on Geeks and Gamers. I didn't write it.
Yeah, I read that.
But
he got caught by the camera. Like somebody was looking at the cameras and like, what the heck?
Unless you're in the ventilation system, you're just not trying hard enough.
Yeah, but there was a big Target. Target had a big Pokemon drop, and it was like insane. My wife went at like 8 a.m. Saturday morning, and she said the line was out the door, and all the Pikachu bags were gone by the time she got in there.
Yeah, I'm not a morning person. I wasn't showing up for that.
Ryer Goddard out there for $4.99. Good day. Good day. I'd be more interested in Starfighter if it had no connection to Star Wars, just a good basic sci-fi movie with no baggage, folks. Yeah, I think you're going to get your wish. I think it's going to be almost completely divorced from everything else Star Wars because they have no idea yet what they're going to do. The execs have said, we believed in Filoni, we don't care how you do it, but get rid of all this crap and go back to the original trilogy. So Starfighter may be just, like this completely divorced from everything else, standalone film that is kind of, sort of, maybe Star Wars somehow.
And Project Hail Mary showed that there is a market for original sci-fi properties. So.
Good original sci-fi properties.
There you go. We've got Siani Reese for $9.99 as a woman. I love Star Wars and Marvel as they were. I don't like any new Marvel or Star Wars stuff. Sorry, not a Devil Wears Prada fan. Never even saw the first one. Not my interest.
Actually proves my point that you were already going when it was marketed for men, and when they started marketing it for women, you didn't like it.
It's all about the proclivity.
Exactly.
I want to say that I appreciated the character growth in the original film.
Yeah.
And I think that version of Miranda was more telling at the time. And then the sequel, I think, unwrites the progress of Anne Hathaway's character and kind of puts Miranda's character on the back burner. I think they did a disservice to both of those characters. And the only person that came out looking good is Emily Blunt's character.
The point of Miranda is that she's not an aspirational figure. It's not the person that Andy wants to become. And then in the second movie, she almost kind of idolizes her again. And I'm just kind of like, oh, I don't know. But
She idolizes her previous memories of Miranda as that strong female figure. That's what she idolized. I think I'm sorry about the Devil Wears Prada chat. They did kind of backtrack on some of it, but it also shows that like all of these tech boys that are taking over these companies are the people that have been there for years are willing to suck up to make sure that they keep their job. Mm-hmm. Even if it means belittling like themselves and what they've stood for decades.
Kara, did you start a soda pop war in the chat as well?
Dr. Pepper is the best. You're welcome.
I knew it. She did it. It's on her.
Not according to the poll right now.
100% for root beer. That will not stand. There's no way. I thought this was going to turn into a Coca-Cola versus Pepsi battle, but no. Everybody's gone root beer. Folks,
I'm not a root beer girl.
You can help us decide. Click that number in the chat and tell us which one do you side with. Will you join Team Kara with the good doctor, or will you go with root beer, Coke, Pepsi? Let us know.
3s in the chat, please.
Should have had birch beer in there. It would have won far and away. Birch beer.
Birch beer. Wait. Is birch beer like ginger beer?
No. Culture, how would you describe birch beer? I'm sure you've had it.
I'm at a loss. I don't know how to even describe that.
Yeah, it's just you described it as being birch beer.
Yeah.
Is it like a sarsaparilla?
Kinda.
Okay.
I think.
I always like to say a sarsaparilla when somebody says, "What are you going to get today?" I'm going to get a sarsaparilla. Why? Because it makes you sound like you're old timey and fancy at the same time.
Dr. P just pulled ahead.
Oh boy,
I'm not surprised by that.
They're just listen. They just are trying to support Kara. That's what.
We need more 4. We need more 4.
No, 3s. Ignore Marv. 3s in the
Ignore
chat.
Kara.
Do it just
She's
to
the party
spite
animals.
Marv.
No.
I'm sorry,
Marv
I'm
and I
better
both
than
for
you.
4.
Don't let her win.
Root beer.
Root beer has the
3 in the
advantage
chat.
because I didn't identify as it Barks, IBC, A&W. Like there's none of that. It's just here's root beer. Have at it. You know.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Advantage.
surprised somebody didn't put cheer wine, but
Well, we're going with dark soda, but cheer wine could be considered a dark soda.
Mm-hmm.
It's, dark red. Bruce Newhouse for $1.99. I only went to The Devil Wears Prada 2 to see Edna Mode. Bet she was. Stormweaver 5, Hi Pro. Marvin Montanero. Hi, young lady. Hi, young lady.
That's Ron.
Oh.
Hey, lady.
Hey, lady. Stormweaver continues. Ron Bradley and Culture Casino. Stormweaver, that is so kind of you. I'm going to click a button. Kara's going to disappear. We'll bring her right back. 3, 2, 1. And there she is. Nothing got weird. That's cool with us. And that means we can play Stormweaver. Thank you, Culture. That'll never leave my head when I see the name Stormweaver ever again.
No, it can't be.
But it is Stormweaver.
You're the one who's out of this world, sweet baby. You're the one who's out of this world.
I just want to say on the record, there are not that many Dr. Pepper fans. You all are just trying to help Kara, and I know it. We know it. We know what's happening here. She's too darn popular. Wild Men of Yavin for 5. The Geeks and Gamers tweet on the Star Wars article was read out by Asmongold. It's on his YouTube clip site. And I heard
fantastic.
I heard it was also put out there by Tim Pool this morning. So all kinds of traction being gained. Sorry, IGN, but we'll continue to do what we do. Let's see. We've got Siani Reese for $1.99. I just like calling you out, Marv.
Join the club.
Mm-hmm.
You and Kara could start a club.
Stormweaver's back again for 5. Wishing everyone all the best. If we did a poll, who's the best Pokemon, everybody knows it's Charizard. People would vote Pikachu just for Kara. This is the problem, right? They will change their. She is such a peer pressure person. Everyone feels like they need to join with Kara. Team
Regina,
Kara.
Regina George over here, like perform more else.
She's an influencer. She influences people.
I mean, if this was the case, Pepper would be the biggest site on the planet. Look at it. 45% of you out there. 45%. I know you're all a bunch of Sprite drinkers. You're just pretending. You can't handle the dark soda. I'll take a Sprite Zero, please. England DG for 2. Disney is late. Grogu peeked out years ago. I almost said Pika Peek. Pika peeked out years ago. Pika. England DG for 2. Grogu is a terrible name if you want to sell cute.
Yeah.
It is. It really is a terrible name.
They should have stuck with Baby Yoda.
Yeah. Jason Webster for 5. If the Devil Wears Prada, what does the angel wear? Not Animal Farm, but maybe Burberry. We've got Siani Reese for $9.99. Thought my kids were going to pass up Pokemon. Unfortunately, someone introduced Pokemon Go to my 15-year-old. He is now obsessed and getting his sisters involved.
That's a good one to get involved in, though, because it actually gets you out the door.
It does.
There you go.
It does.
I was, the first day that came out, I was standing on a pier, P-I-E-R, and a kid came up to me and said, "Can you move, please?" And I thought, well, this is odd. I said, "Sure, what do you need?" Because there was nothing there. I mean, I'm just looking at the ocean. And the kid said, "Oh, I'm trying to catch a Pokemon." And I did not know about the game yet. I didn't know anything. But yeah, he was trying to catch a Pokemon right there on the pier in Daytona.
My favorite thing about the first few weeks of Pokemon Go was how much Disney hated it. Because the parks were just filled with people playing Pokemon Go. Like, I remember one of the first days, there was just sitting on the hub grass in Main Street, USA, because there was a war going on between the competing teams to see who would take the gym that was Cinderella Castle, and it kept changing hands. Like, it was awesome.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. Yeah,
but that's engagement that like Disney is not directly profiting off of, and so they hated it.
Well, folks, there's nothing we can do about this. Hera has defeated us. She's won. Team Dr. Pepper is a go-go. Folks, we'll get the rest of the super chats in just a few, but there is no doubt Dr. Pepper has, for all times and for all of eternity, defeated root beer, Coca-Cola, and poor, stinky little Pepsi. Actually, Pepsi deserves it.
I will respect the democratic process.
We will. We will. All right, folks, one more super chat because it came in, and it is one of those special colors. Let's see if we can grab it. StreamYard, are you going to grab the color? You know what? We'll have to see if we can grab it manually. Let me see if I can do that, because StreamYard doesn't want to be nice to us today. England AG for 20. It makes you Pokemon go to the polls.
One of the cringiest things that's ever happened. When
Wait.
she said Pokemon go to the polls, the entire world was just like, oh.
Who said this?
Hillary.
Ugh, heard around the world.
Yeah. Hillary was like, everyone's talking about this Pokemon Go. How about Pokemon Go to the polls? And the entire world went, ugh.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Hey, you know what else makes people go, ugh?
Our next story.
Oh, no. They're going to love the next story. Marv, would you like to know who's back?
I'm waiting.
Oh.
It's the return of the Rach. Not the hairstyle. The Zegler.
It's the Broadway.
Oh, trust me, I'm aware.
Here we go. Look who's back. Back again. Rachel Zegler. Just when we thought you were going to disappear, here you are yet again, this time at the Met Gala. It's basically Halloween for millionaires. Rachel Zegler wears a blindfold to attend the Met Gala. The actress who sparked mass boycotts of Snow White for her woke outbursts, and by the way, putting her co-stars in danger, allegedly, referenced the execution of Lady Jane Grey with her red carpet look. Here is Zegler, folks. We'll put it in full screen for you. We apologize for that, but you know we got to do it. There's Rachel Zegler at the Met Gala.
Look at that. Oh,
she's so important. Look at oh, Zegler, you're just a little ball of sunshine. All right, so Zegler's back, but there's meaning behind this, and we've got the explanation of what this is all about on Geeks and Gamers. Rachel Zegler dresses as victimized queen at the Met Gala, which again is Halloween for rich people, gets roasted on X for bizarre jaw movements. That's a great face. Marv Montanaro writing this one. Marv, I recommend people go check this out. It's a great article. Is she doing the derpy Snow White look now?
You would think that she would try to never make that face again.
Oh, boy.
But the execution of Lady Jane Grey is a depiction of a teenage queen who is unjustly killed.
So you're saying that Zegler is not quite so subtle with what she's doing?
She has all the subtlety of a sledgehammer.
Sledgehammer. All right, here's what it says. The Lady Jane Grey reference isn't subtle. That painting captures a young woman moments before execution, blindfolded, helpless, led to her death. It's one of the most famous visual depictions of innocence being destroyed by forces beyond her control. So when Zegler steps on the Met Gala carpet, recreating that imagery, there's a pretty clear message baked into it. She's the victim. She's the victim. And we all remember what Zegler said. You're supposed to be going to see her because she's the winged victory. Here's Zegler from not so long ago.
And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Acting!
That didn't happen, did it?
She thinks very highly of herself.
You think? She's comparing herself to priceless works of art constantly.
She's a politician, guys. She's a theater kid. It's this self-importance that they assign themselves at a young age, and that's all she represents. Between this appearance and Sarah Paulson, those were the two most cringe appearances on the red carpet at the Met Gala.
I'm glad you brought that up. Let's bring it up right now. Folks, the celebrities, they actually get worse. Zegler is not the worst of them. And this is what I think is driving people away from Hollywood at levels that are just hard to believe. Hang on a second. Oil London has this one. Sarah Paulson wears dollar bill over her eyes to call out the 1%. Do you know who the 1% is? That's like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, etc. Maybe Bernie Sanders. The actress, who is worth an estimated $12 million, used her outfit to call out the world's elite while attending the $100,000 per person Met Gala. Okay, here she is. This is Sarah Paulson. Again, she has a net worth of $12 million. She spent $100,000 to get into this, and so did Zegler. And so all of these people, Zegler doesn't have a big role coming up. She doesn't have a big. So this is like, please take a picture of us. Please put us in the news. Please, I'll spend $100,000 to dress in a silly costume and you talk about us. This is the level of cringe we are at, where they are wearing now a dollar bill to call out Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg and all the super rich people while they're worth $12 million and spend $100K to get in here. Culture. What?
I would guess that both of them were gifted their tickets or were purchased through the agencies that represent them, because I mean, she's wearing a gown that's incredibly expensive. That's the other problem. When you're wearing a gown that's worth, basically a residential home, shut up on social issues. You have no connection to the real people of this world.
But,
Same problem with Zegler. Go ahead.
To be out here trying to make this statement against the 1% who hoard all the wealth. I'm like, for what you paid for the ticket to this event, plus that gaudy nonsense dress that you're wearing, you could have fed an awful lot of hungry people. You could have given to an awful lot of charities. You could have changed the lives of underprivileged people, but you did not. You chose to dress up and go to a big fancy event, Sarah.
I'll say this too. So I would love to cover the celebrities and how silly they are. Unfortunately, if we even go through this and show their costumes, a lot of it will get us in trouble on YouTube, and YouTube has a habit lately of really quickly striking people down. There are all kinds of clever ways that they hide exactly what needs to be hidden when it comes to their chest areas. And so we'll be careful about showing any of the costumes. But you can see here from People Magazine, and folks, you can go read the article. It says the best, worst, and most oops moments of the 2026 Met Gala. And you can see down there below, Bad Bunny, by the way, is the guy who's dressed as an elderly man, elderly Colonel Sanders, I guess. You've got the Statue of Liberty. You've got people dressing like Greek and Roman statues. This really is.
Just so you guys are aware, the one who looks like the statue.
Yeah.
Well, Kara, this is Spirit Halloween for multimillionaires, and that's fine if they want to do that. It's silly. It just doesn't. But Kara, the problem is, as always, they make it be so dramatic. It's not that they wanted to show up in a costume for 5 hours and spend a lot of money. No, Kara, they're fighting the richest people on the planet. They're on the side of the oppressed.
Some of them are.
Zegler is a victim.
A small percentage there, and then there's other people there that it's just like, I want to have that Blake Lively moment where she's just like that beautiful halo that she had, the big dress. Like, that's what they are striving for, is that Blake Lively moment. Like, a lot of people know about the dress that it had kind of that change, like as she's walking up the stairs. I think that is what they're striving for, to be that iconic, or the Zendaya outfit that she had.
I'm trying to find right now the Blake Lively, because Blake Lively did show up last night.
It was a normal dress.
Hours.
It was a yellow gown.
Mm-hmm.
She showed up hours after the lawsuit was settled. And by the way, TMZ is now reporting officially that she got $0.0 in that settlement.
Yep, no money.
Well, I'm talking about a dress from years ago.
Oh, years ago. Well, she tried to. I think she tried to do the same thing this year too, though, Kara, because she had like a giant dress with a.
It wasn't that gaudy. It really wasn't. This year she went much less gaudy.
She went glamorous. She went super glamorous. And
yes.
The dress had a big long train.
Yeah.
And this is what.
Yeah,
so
but much less. You go ahead.
But it's amazing to me. It's $100,000 to get into this thing, and that's whatever. If these people want to do it, but I don't think this plays with Americans very well. Like, I don't think that every day you can talk about the oppressed and how the orange man is destroying the world and all this stuff. I don't think you can do that and then simultaneously pay $100,000 and wear a $200,000 dress and I just don't think this plays well with the folks in Oklahoma, Nebraska. I know they don't care, but it's causing there to be an even bigger divide between Hollywood and real people, because real people look at this and say, yeah, we do this too. It's October 31st. It's in the driveway with the kids, and we go to Spirit Halloween and spend $40. Like, that's, I don't know. Maybe I'm just too cynical. Maybe I'm just too now curmudgeon-y when it comes to the celebrities. What do you say?
I think this is more so of the fashion statement. Like, that's what I think most women look at it. I don't know. Like, I honestly didn't look. I haven't really looked outside of like the headlines of the Met Gala. So I'm not 100% sure on what all of the looks were that showed up. Of course, there's going like there was the, what was it? What was the theme? It was just like fashion into art or art into fashion. It was something along those lines. So there was a dress up theme to it. Ron, I don't know if you're talking, Ron, but you're muted. But Ron, it was no, okay.
Well, we're gonna make him talk a minute, Kara. We'll make
there
him
was
talk.
a theme. So, and that's how I look at it. Like, yes, there are going to be that small percentage of people that want it to be a statement. They want to stick it to the man. They want to stick it to the rich. But
they're rich, Sarah. They're crazy.
Exactly. It's very hypocritical of them.
But you know
and people call them out on it.
Some of these people are not rich. And this is the dirty secret, right? Some of these people spend $100,000 to get into this, and they're essentially the face of a business. They're a single, like, the business circulates around their identity, right? But they've got a team around them. And so they spend $100,000 because in the case of Zegler, for example, Zegler's not going to be in any movies. Not really, okay? She's got a few, but, well, there's one.
She has one little independent film, and then Evita is coming to Broadway.
Right. So Zegler is not going to get on the red carpet. She's not going to make news. So the $100,000 fee is, how do I get to be part of the club still? So you pay $100,000, and then your team also is probably, costing a huge amount of money. Your publicist and your makeup artist and all this kind of stuff. And then you've got whoever it is, whatever company, whatever individual that you sign on to get the dress done. This is a marketing expense for a business, and that's what each one of these celebrities is doing. Is they're part of a large business structure that needs to advertise. And for those who do not have big deals, big gigs on the way, this is a huge expense to them with no guaranteed payback. And so when they go out, like Zegler does this with the blindfolded thing and makes this statement, this is a call out, I think, to Hollywood to say, she's been done unjustly. Let's cast her in something because she's been treated poorly by the MAGA mob. That's what I think it is.
She's been treated poorly by the... Rachel Zegler needs some very strong, proper psychological help is what she needs.
She needs friends that aren't gonna freaking kiss her butt.
That's true. That's true. I mean, it's just, she definitely needs something. And it's just, there's a part of me, and I think it's my age, and I think it's that I have a stepdaughter in that she's actually older than Rachel, but it's just the dad in me wants to go, where are her parents? Why are they not guiding her down the proper roads? It's just,
the way they guided her throughout her life is why she ended up being the way she is.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, what bad parentage. And it's scary to me. But the whole Met Gala, the whole thing of it, it screams pretension. And it's so overwhelmingly pretentious that it's just funny to see, what was it, Paulson, that came out with a dollar bill over her face. And I'm like, it's literally, I think you're putting out the exact opposite message of the one that you want to when you do that kind of thing, because it's just so offensive to like 95% of Americans. So many people just, most people are forced into jobs they don't want because we got to make a living, got to pay the bills, and you got to take care of your family. But the vast majority of people, the first thought is taking care of my family. And I don't think these people have that on their mind at all.
Rachel Zegler is the American version of Greta Thunberg.
How dare you?
And the best way for me to describe the whole Met Gala is essentially this is the attendees that are in the audience that are featured at a Hunger Games quarter quell.
So you don't think this plays well?
No.
There's a video that I just shared in the private chat of Blake Lively trying to go up the stairs with her 13-foot-long train, and she gets stuck, and nobody comes to help her, so she's just stuck, and she has to ask for help.
Yeah, I'm checking that right now to make sure that's not owned by any of the entities that would get us. Hang on just one second. I'm
sure thing.
Doing a quick check on that, and then we'll play it.
Yeah, it's just funny. Like nobody wants anything to do with her. She was just like alone by herself. Yeah, there it is.
She just spent $500,000 on attorneys before this.
Mm-hmm. And got no money in the settlement.
She got a statement that said that her concerns deserve to be heard, and that came from a company that is not Justin Baldoni. And then a lot of the writers out there, a lot of the Access Media tried to claim, oh, well, she settled with Justin Baldoni.
No,
she didn't. She didn't settle with Justin Baldoni. All the accusations against Baldoni were tossed out by the judge. She was stuck with just the production company and a PR firm, and that's who settled with her. And the big settlement she got for all those millions and millions and millions of dollars, a settlement that says she deserved to be heard. We're moving on now. No money. Just a few sentences.
And they can't. And the only other thing was she got a concession for that, and she got a concession for not going after each other in the press anymore. Or
could you like translate that she deserved to be heard to she got what she deserved by being heard?
And you might even say, Marv, that Blake Lively got served. By the way, all these celebrities, I think, they're going to get swerved by the American people. It never stops because I just don't think this plays well with average Jane and Joe across America. I don't think it plays well with Juan and Maria. I think that when people see, multimillionaires claiming, I'm fighting against the oppressors, it's like, no, you just went to the dresser and got a really weird outfit.
Nobody can buy a house right now, Zegler, and you're wearing a house.
But one last time, I will go to Kara because I think Kara has an important point on this. Kara, we give celebrities a hard time. We give Hollywood a hard time because we want them to correct. But it's not all of them. Not everybody is Zegler. Kara,
no.
Who does it right? Give us a few celebs who you think they're actually aiming in the right direction.
Honestly, it's a lot of not the like A-list celebs that you would see. I mean, honestly, off the top of my head, I can't think of any like particular names. I think there are people that prefer to stay a little bit more on the more central politics stance, at least, because that means more fans. I think that there are people that have seen that and they're just like, oh, I'm just going to kind of keep my mouth shut. Like, I just want to show up and look pretty. And if people like it, that's awesome. Maybe this will get me a gig later on. That's cool. But there are the people out there that do deserve to be like, girl, shut up. Like they need that friend that's brutally honest, whether they like it or not. I think every girl needs that friend in their life, because there's always like, if you get a group of like the yes people,
good point.
Like you're going to think that like, oh my God, you look so beautiful. You're so great. Like you're so talented. And they need that knock. They need that knockdown every once in a while. Be like, oh, maybe I'm not as smart as I think. Maybe I do need to think about this a little bit more.
Yes.
Everybody needs that friend.
Because if you don't, and if you're not willing, okay, so wow, what a great point. Psychologically, you need a friend who will make fun of you. Now, not in the way that they're trying to destroy you, but in the way that you can take a ribbing. And by the way, if you're so fragile that you won't allow somebody who will put you back onto earth and reground you, then you've got a problem. Because what happens then is your narcissism, we're not talking about you right now, Zegler, okay? Yeah, we kind of are. Your narcissism, if you won't allow people in your orbit who will bring you back down to earth, your narcissism will present you like a toddler to everyone else, because it's a pity party when people don't accept you. And it's just a nonstop, put the spotlight on me all the rest of the time. This is one of the most, and this has become a thing because people are so hyper focused on being an influencer, and I gotta get my duck face ready to go for my Instagrammies and my tickety talks and all that. Folks, put it down, go live life, and get people in your life who don't mind to say, that doesn't look that great on you, or that was a really bad take. You need these people because you're not God. Thanks, Kara.
You need the reality check.
Yes. Everyone needs that reality check. Everybody needs to, like, if you can't, like, at least trust your friends, like, at least your core friend group, like, the people that you actually trust to, like, spill the beans or to kind of confide in, you, like, if you can't handle that little bit of, like, critique or criticism, like, how are you going to go out and be a public figure where people are going to talk crap about you, whether you do the perfect thing or not? Like, you at least need to be like be willing to go to your friend and be like, hey, people on the internet are saying this, like, did I screw up or am I in the right? And they need to be brutally honest with you about that.
Yes. And then that keeps you, by the way, that is a prescription for keeping you out of more trouble, right?
Yes.
That's the whole free speech thing too. You don't silence the critics, because if you do, you're more likely to make a really big mistake at scale. Marv?
Mm-hmm. I have a friend like that. His name is Epic Mike.
Mike is the best.
He is the best.
See, I try to be that friend for, like, my girls. Like, I'm the one like, hey, this guy that you're dating probably isn't that great. Or like these are the red flags that I see. If they continue, it might be something to kind of, like, keep an eye out for. Not saying genuinely, like, hey, like, I just try to be honest with my friends. Be like, okay, well, you're doing this, but, like, is this healthy in the long run, kind of thing? Like, that's the type of friend I try to be, but in a constructive manner.
Because if you don't have that friend, Kara, here's what happens, okay? If you don't have that friend, it turns out that you have things that annoy other people. All of us do, right? And if you don't have that friend who says, hey, you chew with your mouth open and you smack your lips and people can't stand it, but they're too nice to tell you. So I, as a friend, I'm going to tell you that. And that protects you from these hidden places, these blind spots that you have. Zegler is just like all of us. Well, not really, but she's just like all of us in that she has blind spots. Her blind spots are huge, and her mistakes are out at scale because she doesn't have someone, and because these celebrities don't have people who are willing to say, you chew with your mouth open, your farts do stink, we don't like it when you don't wear deodorant, and you don't think at the level of a philosopher at the academic campus, you're a moron. Because they don't have people to tell them that and bring them back down to earth, they say and do stupid things, and they get mocked and ridiculed, and then they double down like this. And that's Gala for narcissists. Ladies and gentlemen, no fun, no fun. We have to say goodbye to the Dr. Pepper Queen, Miss Kara Lynn. Kara! Where can people find you, though, later today if they say, I need more of Kara?
Well, I will actually be going and playing some games here in about 20 minutes or so. I'm going to be playing some Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. It is an absolutely ridiculous, silly game. There's all these different pirate games coming out right now, and I'm kind of jumping back into play this one, and it's been so much fun. But that's where I'm going to be. You can find me at Kara_creates over on YouTube. It'll say Kara Lynn. I'm also on Twitch and Kick as Kara Lynn.
Hey, Kara, what if I asked you to stay for just one more minute?
Just a second. Bring him in. Bring him in.
Minute.
Who could that be? Let's go see, boys and girls.
Hello, my love.
Hello, my love. I'm
you?
tagging out. I'm letting you take over.
Oh,
keep the boys in check for me, please.
Oh, that sounds like
one
a lot of work.
superstar leaves, one superstar joins. The chat goes wild. Folks, it's a rotating panel of perfection today. Kara, I hate that we have to say goodbye, but I hope you have a great time. And Caro, I know, is going to do well in your stead. Hey, Caro, the next story, we're going to talk about The Rock in a dress. Like
I was
Dwayne
just
Johnson.
looking at that.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
See, Karen's yelling now. She's like, I wish I was here for that one.
Yeah, I was ready. I was looking at it. I was like, I have so many thoughts. I have so many reactions. I just have to contain it.
Kara, before you go, last question. Thoughts on Dr. Pepper versus Cherry Dr. Pepper?
Dr. Pepper. OG Dr. Pepper is the best Dr. Pepper.
But Diet Dr. Pepper tastes exactly like regular Dr. Pepper.
You're a liar.
That's what the commercial says.
You're
It's
a
false
liar.
evidence. Blame the Dr. Pepper Corporation for that.
That's why you can't trust ads. Can't
Uh-oh.
trust ads. It is
Oh,
not the
it's exactly
same.
It's
It
exactly
is not the same. Zero sugar. Dr.
We gotta
Pepper is not
stop
the
it.
same. The only good Dr. Pepper is the OG Dr. Pepper.
Next.
Commander Cody, the time has come, homie. Execute Order 66. I'm still alive, motherfucker.
Marvin, what did you do?
What?
What did you do, sir?
I don't know. I was having an argument, and you started playing clips.
Kara left during the clip. She's so angry about what you said about Dr. Pepper.
Mm-hmm.
That was very brave of you.
We will have a blind taste test next time I see her between Dr.
not a bad
Pepper
idea.
and Diet Dr.
I think
Pepper.
her palate's good enough to know the difference. She's
Yeah,
a Dr. Pepper connoisseur for sure.
We'll see.
All right, folks, we're connoisseurs of super chats. Let's see what's out there. And by the way, we hit the goal. We gifted 15 wonderful WDW Pro memberships to everybody out there for hitting that goal. And guess what else? If we get 20 more super chats today, we've set a second goal. Kara's still out in the chat. I see her out there. If we hit the secondary goal today, we're going to have an after party. We'll invite all the members in for the after party. You can hang out in the room with us after the show today. England DG for 2, I make homemade root beer. England DG, I would love to know how you make said homemade root beer because there are so many different ways and recipes that I've heard, including some that I think are really hard to get the ingredients. Would love to hear your idea. Bruce Newhouse for 199. Sarsaparilla, 100%. Another one that's hard to make legit now. Carl Anderson, member for 16 months. Love the pick. Hey, there's Jeremy in there with you. 1919 root beer is the greatest pop ever made.
Oh, you had me until you called for pop.
Bring on the pop. We got Wildman and Gavin for 5. I get this strange feeling this goal will be met. But will the second goal be met, Wildman of Gavin? We do not yet know. Kaylee for 5. Grape or orange Sunkissed is best soda. Notice, folks, we said dark sodas only. That was the poll. The grape might register as a dark soda. I don't know. You tell me. Kara hasn't eaten yet. Her fingers have yet to wear out from crafting. We've got Stormweaver again for 5. Sigh. Now I don't know if I should see The Devil Wears Prada 2 with the wife. Yeah, if it makes the wife happy, you should go.
Caro, you saw it. You wrote a review that's going to be going up on that Park Place today. So
I did, but I will confess that my husband did not want to see it with me. I enjoyed it for reasons people probably wouldn't think of. It was, for me, it was all about the framing and the networking. It was all the business aspects of it that I found really intriguing, like the actual interpersonal drama. I was kind of like, yeah, whatever, that's nice. But I thought I liked how they were able to kind of like show like the power of networking, about how sometimes it's about who you know that gets things done rather than trying your best.
Kara says her hubby did not dislike The Devil Wears Prada 2. So there you go. Go, and if it makes your wife happy, go see the film. We've got Stormweaver out there. Stormweaver for 5. Hi, Kara. Kara's out there in the chat. I'm sure she just heard. Cuban Superman.
I wonder her opinion on Dr. Thunder. I'll have to ask her.
Thunder.
Or Mr.
Cuban
Bibb.
Superman for 5. Michelle Obama tried so hard to get kids active with no luck. Pokemon Go did it in an instant, and it became a phenomenon. Marketplace, the private marketplace wins every single time. Go capitalism, go. Well, to some degree, right? By the way, Dr. Thunder, for those who don't know, is, I believe, the Walmart brand. And not Kirkland, that's Costco. The Walmart, Sam's Choice version of Dr. Pepper.
Yep.
Did I get that right?
Yeah, Dr. Thunder is the Walmart brand, and then Mr. Pibb is, I think, whichever one owns Dr. Pepper, whether it's Coke or Pepsi, the other one owns Mr. Pibb.
Storm Weaver for 5. Oh no. Rachel Zegler. Oh no. You know what? We need to find out. Let's see. We need to get a poll real quick. Before I do, Marv, tell the folks out there about M4 Empire while I get this next poll. It's very important. Very important.
The M4 Empire is my channel where we talk all things pop culture. And we have a new video out on the Star Wars situation currently that's gaining some traction. So please check that out. We also have a number of live streams throughout the week, including the M4 cast, which you can find myself and Caro at every single week, Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, and of course, also live streaming now on That Gameplays throughout the week. We're currently playing Pragmata and loving it. It is probably the best, one of the best games I've played in the last 2 years.
All right, folks, we've got the new poll out there, and check out the M4 Empire. I think you'll have a good time. But we've got a new poll out there. You'd let us know, how do you say it? I see the arguments out there. How do you say it? Do you say soda, Coke, pap, or soft drink? Because I know none of you say pop. You say pap. I know. We got Archer Merchant for 2. If GameStop can buy eBay, Disney can give Star Wars back to Lucas. He doesn't want it back, though.
He does not want it in any way, shape, or form.
Archer Merchant.
Sounds like a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. It's that 4-letter word. Archer for 2. She's auditioning for the new Grudge Ring Girl.
Zegler, yeah.
As long as she dies at the end, I'm fine with it.
Whoa, culture too far.
No, of the film.
Culture.
I did do and say horrible, regrettable things.
I have people skills. I am good at dealing with people. Can't you understand that? What the hell is wrong with you people?
I don't think I was off base there. I think it was
culture. Jimmy Kimmel is the guy doing the dying jokes, not us, not you. You're better than that.
It was in the film. It was implied.
You are the Bob Ross of gardening. Did Bob Ross ever make a death joke, culture? No, he made Happy Little Clouds.
Okay. Well, Caro did a great job writing about the Rippaverse the other day, so I just want to say that her contributions at
see, that's a nice
at
pivot.
That park place.
That's a good pivot.
Thank you.
Thank
you. I was very honored that they let me write my little jotty thoughts down.
That was good.
Please, we are blessed to have you on the team.
That's right.
Thank you.
That's right. Culture, I want you to remember that, okay? Bob Ross. No death jokes, just Happy Little Clouds. You're the Bob Ross of gardening now.
Just a happy little murder, just a happy little blood splatter.
Oh, yeah, you taught him a new way. Oh, no, he's going to figure this out.
I like Happy Little Murder. There was a Muppets murder thing I used to enjoy.
Did you know the first episode of the Muppet Show is called Sex, Drugs, and is it called Sex, Drugs, and Murder?
It was it was called Sex and Murder, I believe.
Oh yeah. Funny stuff.
So we're good.
Yeah. Okay. Just checking on you. Human Superman for 2. Zegler wears prosciutto over her eyes to the gala. Well, that would be interesting. Salty tears. That would guarantee. That's the best joke I've got about prosciutto over your eyes. Salty tears.
Prosciutto's delicious. I would put it in my mouth, not on my
okay, so prosciutto can be delicious. I have had prosciutto in France once upon a time that was not pleasant at all.
It's not aged right. That's why you got it in France is the problem number one.
If it's cut thick, I'm out. I'm out on the thick prosciutto because that's gelatinous.
I just have bacon. I think that makes everything fine.
Isn't that so much better? I mean, really it is.
Bacon.
Really out for 5. I am shocked Zegler didn't appear dressed as her idol, Barbarella. Give her time. Next year. Equus Heart for 5. Stevie Nicks was the best dressed, in my humble opinion. Go Stevie Nicks. We got Tender Warrior dropping on by. We're going to click on a button. Carol's going to disappear. We'll bring her right on back. 3, 2, 1. And only a wrong shuffle. Carol, you go back right where you belong. We'll go over here. And Tender Warrior, we know where you belong. And that's on the screen.
You know, you realize the soda thing is regional, right? I mean, like all of these different various names for things. Like the Midwest is going to be more pop. Soda is going to be
secretly finding out where people live with this poll. Yes, culture.
Okay, all right. As long as everybody knows, they're just basically volunteering. Yeah, well, West Coasters are more likely to say Coke. I don't think anybody says soft drink. That's weird. Maybe Canadians.
So what we're doing is we're learning about the demographic who watches this show.
I say soft drink. I feel bad.
Yeah,
now.
you think like I do. Carol thinks like I do. It's a little bit
People say, "What would you like?" I'd like a soft drink, please. Oh,
who says that?
Me,
No.
Be still, my bleeding heart. Hey, Marv, Mo is coming to your rescue. He says that we're not doing well with our pronunciations of Italian words. Could you?
Yeah, no, like it is essentially. You might as well be dragging your teeth along a blackboard when I hear you guys are pronouncing these words.
Prosciutto.
It's prosciutto.
I know how family says it. I just I'm glad I annoyed you.
You don't pronounce the O.
I know.
That is lame. That is a cool O sitting at the end, and it gives a flow to it. Prosciutto. You tell me I just got to be like prosciutto.
No, it's prosciutto.
Prosciutto. You're putting too much romance language into it.
Yeah, and you're a little softer on the P than you should be there, Pro.
Like
I feel like that girl in Sabrina Carpenter's audience right now being like, it's my culture.
It's almost like brosciutto.
Prosciutto. Okay.
No, don't put the O on me.
Thank you for looking out for me, Mo. I love you, buddy.
Jason's out there for 2. Rachel looked like she had cataract surgery. Maybe that's what that was all about. Maybe she just needed an excuse. Hang on a second here. Argonia Station. Got it. Pro. Come on, little neuron. Start firing inside the brain. Argonia Station. Why didn't I see that? 10. I missed the days before social media when we didn't really know that many of our favorite celebrities were single-digit IQ holders.
True.
Very mysterious figures that we only looked up to, and then they learned it.
Carol, what we talked about philosophically on the channel before is that there's a reason they're called movie stars, and a star is something you look at from afar and you can't reach it, and that's why they were called movie stars. This was selected on purpose. Social media actually destroyed that system, and it has not been for the better.
There needs to be a wall between audience and entertainer. There always needs to be that wall, because once the wall comes down and you see the real person underneath, man, it starts like I miss the days back when the only time we ever heard from these people were just these carefully curated interviews, either on late night or in a magazine or something like that. Once social media happened and we were subjected to their every insipid, vapid, empty thought, like, it was over. It was completely over for the entire industry. Robert Downey Jr. I just saw was doing a whole thing where he was just like, "Oh, they say that influencers are going to be the next the next celebrities, and I think that's a load of bull." And I was just like, "Yeah, I could just see the Tyrannosaurus Rex being like, oh, they think mammals are going to be the next top of the food chain."
The golden age of celebrity many years ago was actually a creation of Hollywood. And everything was carefully crafted from beginning to end. So everything you're saying is 100% correct. The unattainable up on a pedestal. I mean, the pre-interviews before these talk shows that you go on, that you're supposed to show a clip and talk about your movie and nothing else, no other nonsense, no activism. You know, that's how you create a celebrity these days. Now, they forgot all of that. So when we try to fake make celebrities, and I'm sure you guys can think of a few who they fake made for a few times, for a few years, and they just fell on deaf ears. This is the problem. These people are allowed to open their mouth. They open their mouth talking to the idiot from Variety on the red carpet, and all of a sudden they are taken down.
Culture, is this the gayest live stream you've ever done?
No,
it's that guy. Run away!
I have people go to Harvey Firestein for him too often. They're like, "Is this the gayest?" I'm like, "No, that's not what he sounds like. He sounds more like what a cartoon barnyard animal might sound like." It's like Bobcat Goldthwait mixed with Harvey Firestein.
Yeah, I think that's actually pretty good.
Wendy's out there for 5. Celebrity culture has taken a nosedive. Most people are done with it. Yeah.
True story.
By the way, Tim Allen, we're going to get to this in a little bit. Tim Allen is over it as well, calling out the hypocrites. And it makes you wonder, will he even be able to go on places like Jimmy Kimmel, where Disney wants him to promote Toy Story, with just how based Tim Allen has quickly become? Keanu Reeves for $4.99. Keanu Reeves, Chris Pratt, Tim Allen, Henry Cavill, to name a few. Yeah, and specifically, though, I was looking for female celebrities who are doing very, very well with connecting with audiences. I think Emily Blunt is one of those, and we could name a few others. Carol, do you have suggestions on female celebrities who are connecting with?
I was going to say Brie Larson now.
Yeah, Brie Larson has made a comeback
a few years ago.
Yep.
It's really strange. I mean,
the weirdest thing that I've seen from her, and it's not weird, it's just that it's weird for what she used to be, is that she's connecting with audiences over trying McDonald's Happy Meals. I mean, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's like, wow, it's just she's so down to earth, and it just comes through in a whole different way. It's like she's a different person now. But back in the day, I was going to say the old interviews that I've seen from Christopher Reeve, because he actually called out Hollywood. Maybe it was because he was Juilliard trained actor. Of course, he was a roommate with Robin Williams at Juilliard. But I love that he would, back in the day, call out his fellow Hollywood co-stars for, like, he called out Marlon Brando for phoning it in. I love that.
Weird.
Carol, I would say on the female celebrity side of connecting with people, Brie Larson has made a comeback. That's absolutely true. I think Iman Vellani does pretty well on that. Haley Steinfeld seems to do a good job. Sandra Bullock. Are there any others that are doing very well with not coming across as sort of elitist?
Gina Carano.
Oh, Gina. Well, yes, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, to pick the more obvious one, but I mean, I say that not just because of how she talks to people online or in interviews, but because I've been lucky enough to actually stand next to her at a booth when she's like talking to fans. And at a couple of conventions that we've been at where she's at, she's usually the last one to leave the celebrity petting zoo, because she will literally sit there and spend time talking to every single
the greatest
person.
name ever.
Yeah.
Celebrity petting zoo. I'm stealing that from you. How many other people? Is this a common thing that we all say? And
I got it from Clownfish TV. So
I petting zoo. I love it. The celeb petting zoo.
yeah.
All right, going to Jason for 5. Amazon Prime doesn't know what to do with Bond, James Bond. Further 2 years till the next film. Screw Jeff Bezos and the Shetland pony he rode in on. It just gets better and better today. This is great. They don't know what to do with Bond because they don't know what the culture is going to be, and they're trying to aim for teenagers and young adults, and they don't know what to do with Bond.
But I would
of the genders and how the different genders see that franchise. Men and women have a very, as a proclivity, generally have a much different view of James Bond culture.
I would say though that they're headed in the right direction, and the first salvo was Jennifer Salke. And the second salvo is maybe letting Barbara Broccoli speak more directly to, what this franchise was. And I did an article recently, or I mean, I didn't write it. I spoke about one that was written about this, about the casting of the future Bond. They really don't know who that's going to be. There are only a handful of actors that'll be acceptable to any long-term Bond fans, like the old people like me. And, it will be knowing something based on if they stunt cast Bond or if they actually cast like a legitimate, as described, Ian Fleming Bond. If they do, and then they move back in time, let's say we restart from the late 40s, 50s, somewhere in there, then maybe we have a shot. Maybe we pick up.
Do you expect me to talk? No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
And this is exactly what we're talking
on rare
about.
occasion, we try to aim those clips and they just do not land the way we wanted to. Culture, I was trying to land that exactly after you said the line. I can't remember exactly what last word you said. I was trying to hit it. Instead, I nailed your next sentence. I apologize for that.
Oh no, I oftentimes will, drone on and on.
No. You had the word. I felt the word coming. I was like, we're gonna hit that perfectly, and then didn't work out the way we wanted to. But very, very well said. Detailed Devil for 199. Power to the Niners out there. Bad Bunny tops the Boss and Mr. Motown on New York Times U.S. list. All right, here's the deal. Let me pros advice about Bad Bunny. Okay, everybody's been clamoring for it. The TMZ calls me every day asking for this. Brian Kilmeade won't stop texting me about what I think about Bad Bunny. Folks, Bad Bunny was the Super Bowl halftime star. And 95% of households out there, if you said, hey, do you listen to Bad Bunny? They would say, who? That's
They're
how...
Googling it right now.
Exactly. So if you want to talk about somebody who wasted their chance, lost their shot, Bad Bunny is at the top. They can say whatever they want to. Wolf of the Crime Dog for 5. Dr. Pepper tastes like root beer to me. Am I doing it wrong?
Yeah, probably. Dr. Pepper is the most androgynous of all the colas.
It's basically
not quite a cola, nor is it a root beer.
It's a great way to get your prunes in.
Doc?
It's or it was like the most. What did South Park say? They said it's the most agnostic of all beverages.
I mean, are you claiming that Dr. Pepper is prune flavored?
Yeah, I'm going to say prunes. That's one of the original flavors in there.
Is that the secret ingredient?
That was one of the original flavors. Yeah,
which prune is just a dried plum.
Prune, plum, plum, prune, and I'm trying to go through vanilla, like actual vanilla, not fake vanilla extract.
You've just blown my mind. I have joked about Dr. Pepper has a taste that nobody can identify, and now that you said that it is prune flavored with vanilla, I'm sitting here going,
Yeah, it's prune juice. Yeah.
yes, it is
prune juice.
That's why, that's why they say it's not got a flavor, because that would be the worst marketing ever to say prune flavored soda.
Well,
somebody get Kara back in here now. Now I have more ammo.
It's like a heavy duty coffee. Like you'll visit your restroom. Like,
where's Kara? Kara is
from Dr. Pepper is not sending anyone to the bathroom.
I will disagree. I tell you what, I'm going to give you a 2-liter bottle of Dr. Pepper. We'll watch it for 2 hours.
Quantity is king when it comes to the bladder. Doge Pal, member for 13 months. Hollywood plan to discredit Angel Studios. Go public. BlackRock and Vanguard invest. Animal Farm then approved and picked up. Disastrous result. It worked. Hey, Doge Pal, I cannot recommend any more than I'm going to right now. Go check out Wizard's video when it drops today on Animal Farm and Angel Studios and how this happened. He has been doing crazy research over the weekend. He's gone Egon on us, and you are going to love what he brings out. It is a show of corruption at Angel Studios, perhaps.
From Google, no, Dr. Pepper does not contain prune juice, and it never has. The popular rumor originated from a 1930s joke or competitive sabotage suggesting a laxative ingredient, but the drink is actually a blend of 23 fruit and flavor extracts.
One of which
that one put together tastes like prune juice.
Apparently.
Well, okay, what are the 23 flavors?
Among the list of ingredients consists carbonated water, high fructose corn syrup, caramel color, phosphoric acid, natural artificial flavors, sodium benzenate, and caffeine.
I'm waiting on my flavors, please.
Nothing good.
What did it originally contain? Is the question.
I'm betting there's a prune in there somewhere.
It says prune is not among them.
Nemo was synthetic prune.
Well, okay, so let me say it a different way. Well, if it's not prune juice, would it be plum juice?
Maybe. Nemo Veer, member for 3 months, is pro harvesting our info. Only your soda dialects. We've got Weekend Wednesday for 17. She is not going to be saved by the prince. Nobody's coming to save Zegler. England G for 5. I bought some Bad Bunny at the grocery store the other day. I prefer Tillamook or Bluebell. Wait a minute. That's Blue Bunny. Oh, I'm so okay. All right, folks. Let's talk about the next big news item. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, a what should we say? A symbol of masculinity, muscle man extraordinaire, a wrestler turned celebrity superstar, showed up at the Met Gala, dressed in a way you've never seen him before. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson showed up at the Met Gala, and guess what, folks? He's not looking so much like you're used to. Why? Well, Geeks and Gamers has this one by Marvin Montanaro. The Rock claims the most masculine men wear a skirt while sporting one at the Met Gala. And I'm going to say, I think this might be a skort. But look at that. He's wearing a skirt. And I'm not going, in all honesty, I'm not going to agree that it's a skirt. I think this is a kilt.
Yeah, I was about to say, it looks like a back kilt.
Yeah, it's a black.
But that's not what he calls it.
Right.
You'll see.
Here's the messaging. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is once again redefining what he believes masculinity looks like, this time while walking the red carpet in a skirt. Just pause there for a minute, Marv. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has been talking about masculinity a lot lately. Before we play this video, what's up with him constantly now talking about proper masculinity?
Just 2 weeks ago, The Rock said that real masculinity is supporting and empowering the warrior women in your life. So 2 weeks ago, he said that real masculinity is feminism, and now he's saying that real masculinity is cross-dressing.
I'm leaving.
I thought real masculinity was being protective and kind and chivalrous and, you know,
opening jars for me.
Yeah.
Self-sacrificing for others. I thought that was, you know, willing to lay down your life in the protection of those who need you and whom you love. I thought that was masculinity, but who knows?
That's not Hollywood masculinity. Here's
Maybe
the thing
this
about The
is-
Rock, bro. The Rock, if you remember, one of the first videos that you and I ever did together was when The Rock refused to endorse a candidate in the 2024 U.S. presidential election. And then after that, all of a sudden, all of these articles started popping up in all the Hollywood trades about how The Rock is toxic, and The Rock pees in water bottles on the set, and The Rock is chronically late, and The Rock is this, and The Rock is that. And then suddenly, masculinity is feminism and cross-dressing.
Carol, let me play this clip. I want to get your thoughts on it. The Rock here sporting a kilt, black kilt, but he's calling it a skirt. Here's The Rock.
I feel great. Well, what I shared with Tom Brown's team is that, at first they sent the illustration.
That pause, though.
And hey, is DJ going to be cool with this?
Folks, we know it's really quiet. We do apologize. I hope you can hear it. We can't put closed captions on this one. We'll keep going.
Pleated skirt. And I was like, well, look, in our culture, Polynesian culture, we rock lava lavas. We rock skirts.
So he says in Polynesian culture, we rock lava lavas. We rock skirts.
That's not a lava lava.
No, it's a kilt.
But not that I'm one of them, but the most masculine men wear lava lavas and skirts.
You blink twice if you're in distress.
Okay, so here's what I think I want to talk about when it comes to The Rock wearing this. Virtue signaling is just too easy these days. You can literally wrap yourself in a skirt, and thus it is. You are brave. You're stunning and brave. It doesn't matter if you're multi-millionaire, part of the patriarchy, the oppressor class. Wrap yourself in a skirt, and you're ready to instantly be praised by the Hollywood influencer class. Is that right, Caro?
I really don't know. I'm still like wrapping my head around this transformation of The Rock from like a super masculine figure that guys were looking up to. Like, I remember one time he got into a car accident, he dislocated a finger, and he decided to like do a reel about it. And then he was like, okay, pop it back in. It was like the most masculine thing I'd ever seen. And now I'm looking at this and I'm like they're making him do this. They're making an example of him like they did with Timothy.
Is this because of Moana coming out and because he's not had the hits, and so they're trying to make him more popular with the young females that they think they need for Moana, the live action movie?
No, I think he made somebody upset. Like, that's what this smells like to me, honestly. And now they're making an example of him. So it's like you're gonna dance our tune and like it. That's what that.
They're hazing Dwayne Johnson. That's what you're saying.
Well, I would relate this directly to Bill Clinton in a blue dress painting. That's what this is. It's a shame ritual.
I'm telling you guys, he stepped outside the narrative in 2024, and they got really, really mad about it.
Mm-hmm.
And he has been trying to make it up to Hollywood ever since. And now his movies are starting to bomb, so he's not the box office draw that he used to be. You had The Smashing Machine, Red One, and Black Adam all bombed. His three most high-profile movies in the last several years. Anything that's not like Jumanji, which is not succeeding based on him, is failing. Anything that's being booked on his star power. I think people have kind of done with him. I think people kind of see through the Hollywood phony that he's kind of become, but they are making him pay for stepping outside the approved narrative. When WWE used to go to the political conventions, they would send Mick Foley typically to the DNC, and they would send The Rock to the RNC. The Rock has always been a conservative. And now all of a sudden he hits Hollywood and they are trying to beat it out of him.
I would also suggest that Danny kind of ruined his career. But it's fine.
Danny ruined his what?
Yeah, his former wife manager.
Oh,
I think she pushed him in the wrong direction quite substantially.
I think that when it started coming out that he has clauses in his contracts about being not allowed to lose fights, or like him and Jason Statham have to land the same amount of punches in every fight, and him and Vin Diesel had that big, very public feud. I think it soured a lot of people on him.
You could see it in the film too, like when they were like in scenes together, and it was like you two just don't like each other. Like the chemistry wasn't there. But it was funny watching their weight like go like they were both shredding at different times, and like they were competing. So like I know that's not what the film was about, but like me being a psychologist, I was like very entertained by this.
I would say that the time they had chemistry, which would have been Fast 5, was the right time, right? I mean, you know, and Vin Diesel star is not exactly super shiny these days either. So.
No.
Yeah.
So The Rock shows up to the Met Gala, which is essentially Spirit Halloween, costume party for celebrities, for millionaires. And what is it that they all care about? Is it Dwayne Johnson wearing a skirt? Is that what actually drives the news? Well, let's find out, folks. Let's go to jolly old England, where GB News has this info for us for what they were all talking about at the Met Gala.
For the most part, reportedly, concerned, angry, furious that Bezos dare platforms Melania Trump, the First Lady, with her Amazon Prime documentary about her life. This is what happened at the Met Gala in New York City last night.
I think that every year I've come, they've had very wealthy people that supported MAGA, and it didn't stop me from coming. They don't have enough money to keep me from talking to the artists. I came to support. We fought for years for diversity. I'm here to support Venus and Beyonce, and that's why I'm here. How do we fight and let a sponsor make us walk away from the people we fought for? And I salute Anna Wintour for making them co-chairs despite the controversy.
So there you go, folks. What are they talking about? Even in articles that are discussing Dwayne Johnson, they don't care. They don't care that he's wearing a skirt. Whatever this was to get him attention didn't work. Instead, the celebrities and the MS Now crowd, which is to say that the Met Gala event is literally just Democrats and dressing up in costumes and celebrities who agree with that. You don't see Tim Allen at this. You don't see people who are conservative. Chris Pratt isn't hanging out at the Met Gala. This is literally trying to vie for a particular MS Now crowd, and they don't care. They're too busy mad that Melania Trump, the First Lady of the United States, got a documentary. That's what they're angry about, not talking about whether or not Dwayne Johnson is wearing a skirt. So whatever this was didn't work anyway, Marv.
One other thing that I want to point out about The Rock and what's going on here is, now you notice The Rock is not as big as he used to be anymore. Like, he's not as
lost a ton of weight.
He lost a ton of weight, all of that stuff. Here's the thing about
bodysuit, by the way, that he's wearing.
Has to wear a fake muscle suit in Moana. Look at the action stars that Hollywood used to go to. The Rock, Vin Diesel, Arnold Stallone, big, masculine, beefy dudes who were just alpha males, right? Now look at what they're going to now. Who are their action heroes now? Tom Holland, Timothée Chalamet, people like that. That's why The Rock, I think, is starting to soften his image, because the alpha male is no longer welcome in Hollywood. That is the kind of action hero Hollywood is no longer looking for. They want Pedro Pascal. I think that The Rock is 6 months away from taking a picture cuddling with Oscar Isaac at this point. real masculinity is cuddling up with dudes.
Ron, you've been on sets and starred in movies with some of those beefy guys. They're also highly intellectual, some of the guys that you've starred with. But what are your thoughts on this semi-shaming of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, whether or not he agreed to it or had to be forced to do it? Like, what do you make of this idea that maybe it's broader and it's a shame of that archetype of masculine celebrity?
Because backed up by what Dwayne was saying, I was trying to figure out if it was actually a lava, because I have actually seen many men wear Polynesian men wear suits that are lavas, but they're
many
never
lavas, right?
Yeah, I mean they're never pleated like that. They're basically, for that culture, replacing dress pants for like a male suit. So it was weird because the outfit that he was wearing would not be culturally appropriate for his own culture for wearing a lava. That's what, because you don't wear the coat and then a pants underneath it. That's bizarre. If he would have really been trying to rock the look, so to speak, he would not have been wearing pants underneath that. He would have just gone out with the skirt, and he's trying to. Marv is totally onto this, as that he is trying to signal to Hollywood, hey, I'm really still part of the crowd, I promise you, and he's kowtowing to a group of people that he shouldn't be kowtowing to. And I think in the process, I'll be honest with you, it feels like he's losing fans along the way, because he used to have a persona where it was just, he wasn't political. It was across the board. You really wouldn't have known necessarily where he stood. And that did well for him, and I don't. Something's weird is going on with The Rock, and it's for me in my head. I'm like it's bizarre because it's just not the same guy that he used to be. I do not care for him in the Maui role for live action, especially when they didn't bring Aulani Carvalho in for Moana. It's just
Carvalho.
She's too old.
Yeah, but she doesn't look old, and plus, I mean, to me,
She doesn't look like she's 14.
I don't think the girl that they have looks 14 either. So that's I don't know. But you're right. I mean, but I don't know. The whole thing to me is weird. The whole live action after a decade.
I'm just waiting for the documentary by 50 Cent exposing The Rock for what he is. That's what I'm waiting for.
Oh, whoa. But I'll tell you this, folks. Holly Weird somehow keeps getting Holly Weirder. Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man, is angry. He's angry because movie stars are no longer the celebrities they once were. Let's talk about that. Here we go, folks, from Killa Crew. Says Hollywood actor Robert Downey Jr. destroys modern influencers and people saying they're the future of stardom, calling out how society glorifies them. Now, if you've been paying attention to the stories we've been covering about the Met Gala and Rachel Zegler and The Rock wearing a skirt, you know that things are not going well for the movie stars. But RDJ, he's angry at influencers and influencer culture. He wants the spotlight back on Tinseltown. Here's RDJ. We'll play parts of this, then talk about it. Hang tight, and here we go.
Create celebrity without ever doing much besides rolling a phone on themselves. And I don't look at that as a negative thing. I just look at it as more like the challenge for individuation is being upped, because hopefully the grosser part of our of the youth of, let's just call it America for locality's sake, you know, is going to say, yeah, but that's not my thing. I want to go do something. I'm going to make something. I want to build something. I want to educate myself, and I want to have more inputs. So whatever my output isn't just a self-aggrandizing kind of influencer type thing. When I hear people talk about, oh, the stars of the future are going to be influencers, I go, I don't know what world you're living into, but I think that is absolute horseshit.
All right, so RDJ has that to say about influencers. My problem is, I think celebrities largely became influencers already. And it seems to me Hollywood deconstructed the stories that they had made and that people did love. They deconstructed those, destroyed those stories, destroyed those mythos, the cultural relevancy that they had. We can think about Star Wars. We can think about Star Trek. We can go beyond that, even Marvel. And Marv, now they're saying, oh, well, you know, we destroyed what we were, but don't go watch the influencers. Don't pay attention to the people talking online.
Robert Downey Jr. is not a movie star. And that because there are no movie stars anymore. They don't exist. Maybe Tom Cruise, maybe you can make Ryan Gosling is on his way up. But when you look at his career outside of Marvel, it's nonsense. Dr. Dolittle, no, nobody cared about that. The Sherlock Holmes movies, nobody cared about those. He has done nothing since leaving Marvel. Now that he's back, it is the Thanos quote. It was, you couldn't live with your own failure. And where did that bring you? Back to me. Because there are no movie stars anymore. Quentin Tarantino was correct. The movie star is a thing of the past. They don't exist anymore. The characters are the things that people like. People like Tony Stark. They don't like Robert Downey Jr. And I don't think that they're going to like Robert Downey Jr. as Victor Von Doom instead of Tony Stark.
Well, the other thing about this is people love Tony Stark, RDJ as Tony Stark, but RDJ Tony Stark, and we know this from all kinds of interviews, Tony Stark RDJ was based on Elon Musk, right? He was an Elon Musk combined with a Playboy kind of thing. You put those two personalities together, you get the Tony Stark as portrayed in the MCU. The problem culture is that Elon Musk actually is building stuff. I mean, he's putting rockets into space that come back and land down. He's completely revolutionized the electric vehicle.
He's funding these things. Yes, he's not building them, but
Elon is doing all of this amazing work, and they hate him for it. They hate the real builders. They don't build anything either. And now they want to throw mud at influencers. And I think it's funny because influencers are going to throw mud back at them. And it's like, none of you build anything. You all just talk about the actual content creators out there. And I think Elon Musk is one of the biggest content creators on the planet. What do you think, Culture, about the idea that celebrities are going to food fight with influencers over who really actually makes good stuff that gets viewed on big screens?
Look, and correct me if I'm wrong, Carol, but I think this is a reaction by people with the same mindset as RDJ, that they are losing power and influence, that Hollywood isn't as relevant as it used to be. In fact, they are losing relevance on the daily because of their stupidity and commentary around the events of the day that actually matter to the vast majority of people in our society. I think that by lashing out, it's really just calling more attention to the fact that Hollywood really isn't what it once was. And we kind of talked about this in a previous segment, but there's nobody out there right now that I think, I said to my audience this morning before I even came over here, that I don't want to be referred to as an influencer. If you want to call me that, or if I've influenced you in some way, well, that's fine, I guess. But my goal is to entertain and inform, and to add something to a conversation, and to look at it, with a wider vision and with a farther step back than most people take. I'm not going to deliver a hot take on something. My goal is ultimately to provide a balanced opinion based on all the facts available. That's it. That's what analysis is. And I think that, if comparing like somebody like Marv to somebody like Johnny Somali would be, a disservice. And, I don't like nuisance streamers. I'm not a big fan of those kinds of quote unquote influencers and what they bring. But what I'm also at the same time,
the nuisance streamers.
Yeah.
They're just what's the guy's name who does Jack A? What's that guy's name? Steve-O. They're just Steve-Os on social media. It's just that same kind of obnoxious entertainment, just with smaller productions and getting out there to annoy people.
I mean, if you're trying to appeal to the single-digit IQ people out there, I get that, but
I'm not advocating for it. I'm just telling you, it's Honey Boo Boo, and at a small scale. It's always been around. Hollywood did this too.
So pageant TV is what you're telling me. Okay,
exactly.
That's fine. Okay, all right. Well, ultimately, my whole point being is this is a natural reaction to, let's say, your territory being reduced, and Hollywood's territory has been reduced. This is the predator species. The apex predators have moved in, and you're now the gazelle. It didn't used to be that way, but that's where we are. Just speak it more plainly.
I think if Hollywood said that we weren't so so Hollywood tries to talk about influencers and us and whatever they want to categorize us as not important. We're not doing anything. But the truth is that if that was actually the case, then they wouldn't have punished Gina Carano for associating with the wrong people or following the wrong people on X, right? Because part of that was because Gina liked a tweet that Gary made, and it upset Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah.
And friendly with Jay.
Yeah. And so, I think in some ways they know what's happening, but they don't want to acknowledge it. I mean, The Devil Wears Prada 2 had a great scene in it, in which there was a scene where it was just kind of like, well, I'm hoping that we can maintain some traditions. And the guy was like, look around. Once this was a tradition, and now it's nothing but rebel, right? Because we as a society are always evolving. We're always changing. And I think there's some people that are trying to cling to how things were because that's their comfort zone. They want to stay where they were comfortable. And unfortunately, we're moving on without them. So this is an adapt or die situation for them. And
I totally agree. That is just wonderful analysis. Let's go back to RDJ and see what he has to say more on this. And who knows, maybe there's more nuance involved in what Mr. Tony Stark has to say.
Yeah, I wanted you to talk about influencers because I don't get it to a certain
That's prune
level.
juice.
Now, I understand an influencer when they have something to say and they're interesting and they have a point of view and all of that, but many don't. And they're, again...
AKA, and I agree, some don't, right? But that's easily true of celebrities, so there's no reason to differentiate. I wonder if those who don't have something interesting to say is euphemism for they say things I don't agree with. I don't like their political positions. I don't like their ideology. I don't agree with how they view society, etc.
That's back to the old famous because they're famous. But it interests me that many of them have 1 million followers, etc. Well, that's a lot of people. Now, what does it mean to be a follower? And, it's not like you're paying $100 a month to be a follower.
Oh, could this guy be any more dry?
To be a follower.
More.
And so I think the interesting...
Please explain to us how subscribers work again. We need...
What I really hate is he's already starting at a disadvantage, and excuse me for coming off as ageism, but he's definitely an older generation that's not going to grasp how the newer demographic is functioning and interacting with each other. So of course he's going to come off like the way he is right now. Like this is ridiculous.
Oh, this guy he is so boring. Like,
well, let's also be honest. RDJ might be about the same age. It's just, with celebrities, they pay to have themselves look younger. But I mean, they might not be so different. The two of them.
Question is, when is an influencer about novelty? What is it that gets them on the radar screen of 1 million people? And then the question is, what contribution are they going to make to the lives of those 1 million people going forward? And they're very different questions. And the ability to do those things are quite different.
Sure. Well, when you're the first of a generation's version of This Is Ours, like my kids know that we didn't have influencers per se. We had Ronald Reagan, who was in politics and on TV and doing whatever General Electric or Westinghouse commercials, and was an actor of some note.
An actor of some note.
Is he attacking Ronald Reagan now as an actor?
Well, no, and he's totally wrong, because we did have influencers. We had like the old movie critique, like Robert Ebert, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we had the New York Times bestseller list. That's an influencing thing as well. Like, I'm sorry, this is factually incorrect.
It's
political
always
cartoonist Thomas Nast. I mean, like, these people were celebrities.
Celebrities also have always taken sponsorships. They've always done that. They've always promoted products. If it is not to influence you to buy the product, then what is the point in paying for them to do so?
The problem they have with it is that the barrier of entry is gone.
Right. And it turns out that the folks across the United States, they were always better at this anyway if they just had the opportunity. They were prevented from doing so due to geography and that sort of thing, proximity to the powerful. And now that that's gone, it's crybaby time.
But then you have like the first I was listening to someone who had started a podcast when it was still on MySpace, like back in the turn. And there's something about this 2006, 7, 8, 9. There's something about that era that, because we were just in it, and you know how it always feels like 2009 was 10 years ago?
Yeah, exactly.
Or it's 5, or whatever it was. It's like, no. It's actually, we're getting a little longer in the tooth. That was a while ago. This whole phenomenon, that the advent of that, sometimes it's who is luck, maybe first in the door to do it. Joe Rogan was doing it before it was cool, and he's kind of got his whole own space now.
All right, I want to stop there because this is what
Joe Rogan's got a cute little audience out there, right? Like, it's just this tiny little thing. He's carved a little space out for himself.
Right. This is insane levels of hubris. Joe Rogan. The premise there is that Joe Rogan is talentless. He was just the first.
Joe Rogan is a phenomenal stand-up comedian.
Right. It takes away the idea that Joe Rogan was and is a celebrity who lived in that domain and excelled. And Joe Rogan said, I want to do this thing. I want to talk to people for a living. That's what I want to do. And I'm going to go do it. I'm going to be successful at it. And he did. But Joe Rogan, I want to be clear, because the premise here, the belief that RDJ is laying out there is that, well, he was the first and it was through luck. And so are these other influencers. And by the way, we didn't come around with this show until 2023. And I think we're doing okay. So I don't think you had to come out at 2009 and be in my top 5 places on MySpace. I don't think that's how it works at all. But the idea is that Joe Rogan, he just lucked into it and he was first, whatever, right? The problem is this was being done. There were Rush Limbaughs doing this on AM before. There were the Art Bells were conquering the nighttime. The scope and scale, the possibility was created through the internet. And now you've got people like RDJ who are essentially saying, well, I, by default, am talented and creative, and I'm the bestest. And so how do I deconstruct these other people so I make them less than me, since they're actually conquering entertainment and I can't figure it out anymore? That's what's happening.
This is a dinosaur trying to criticize mammals.
And I hate to say that about RDJ, but you're right. This is dinosaur talk.
Yeah. It immediately made me think of the line from Jurassic Park where they're like, I guess our jobs are obsolete. And he's like, don't you mean extinct? I mean, that's where we are with this.
But wait, it makes sense because these are people who don't understand that the same products have been peddled throughout history. They just adapted through formats, which you just described, Pro, from talk radio to MySpace, which is dead, to, YouTube and other places. These conversations are still being had. The influence that may be levied by certain individuals are still the same. The problem is that the people who are becoming extinct, as Carol actually identified them in a different word a few moments ago, they don't even realize that they're being phased out. RDJ's being phased out. Go ahead.
Even beyond this, is this the kind of conversation that a winner has before a big movie coming out? Is this the kind of guy who is taking pot shots at influencers and trying to claim, well, it's not good for them to be popular. I'm so much more popular.
It feels premeditative because if he spins this narrative now, then he can say if we start critiquing him, it's in retaliation to this interview that he did.
But that's, I agree with you. That used to be the old strategy, but we've identified the fact that that's not even working for them anymore. Wouldn't you agree?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it depends because they can still claim it, right? I mean, how many times will like an actor come out and run their mouth on some particular topic, and then when we actually go and critique a film and like legitimately say it's bad, it's always been like, well, this review is actually not valid because they're really just upset about this one thing that happened 2 days ago. Like they're trying to defang us before we even get to say anything.
The only influencers that they take their opinions on movies seriously are the ones that were all invited to the Mandalorian and Grogu premiere this weekend. It's the Spit Takers, the That's a Sarlackers, the Whackers, like it's all of them.
It's so true. It's so true. And look in the background to catch the folks up in the that are watching us right now or listening to us. In the background, I said these are two old guys, dinosaurs that are coming out of an era from the mid-century furniture stuff, which is the way the set was dressed up. That just have completely lost touch with the audience. This is in every single way. They're showing you just how out of touch they are with what's modern. And I'm an old guy, so I can actually say this kind of stuff. So it's insane.
I think influencers like in our house, Mr. Beast is huge. We watch his stuff. And I can virtually guarantee you, if you ask any kid between the age of 12 and say 18, 20, if they know who RDJ is over Mr. Beast, they're going to say Mr. Beast. They know who that is. They probably are much less likely to know who RDJ is.
I will say, Ron, if I can add an addendum onto that, Ron, they won't know who Robert Downey Jr. is, but they'll know who Tony Stark is. They just won't know that Robert Downey Jr. is Tony Stark. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah.
No, that was exactly my point. They may know who Iron Man or Tony Stark is. They don't care about Robert Downey Jr., but they'll know that Mr. Beast's real name is Jimmy.
True story.
Mm-hmm. I think another good thing is it's actually Asmongold, because like a lot of like
Zach.
Asmongold, I get like all my news from, right? Because he digests, he gives it really fast, and he's got like an opinion about it. I find most of his opinions to be okay. Like he's got a couple bad takes, but he always is kind of like, maybe it's a bad take, maybe not, I don't know. But I literally almost everybody I talk to within my age range, like we all know who Asmongold is. Like we all do.
He's intellectually fixed, right? I mean, he like he's sound. He's not arguing from like
he is a
position
product of the internet. Literally, the internet made this guy.
Jeremy goes live several times a day from Geeks and Gamers.
Yeah,
and
for the
with
politics.
with D-Day Cobra on his politics channel. That's where I get my political news from. I watch CobraCast along with thousands of other people. I mean, like I said to Jeremy one time, I was like, I get my politics news from you, and he said to me, "What a sad state of the world." And but he does it correctly. He does it in a way that you're not going to get from the mainstream media, and I think that's what people want, because the trust in these establishment things, like whether it's media or celebrities, it's completely gone. There's no goodwill left.
And we should say that when Jeremy said that, I'm sure it was tongue in cheek, because
it was 100% tongue in cheek.
Bottom line, folks, as we wrap this up, what is RDJ saying about the influencers, about the Joe Rogans, about the Asmongolds? What is it he's describing? he's essentially parroting the old line, you didn't build that. It was luck. It was blind luck and timing. It was the advent of the internet. It's a pathology upon us. And really, it should just be the stardom of the superstars from Hollywood. That's who belongs here because I'm here and I'm them. That's the message from RDJ. Dinosaur talk, no good. And that's why they may just go extinct. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to it. The superstars are out there, and it's Stone Racket becoming a YouTube member. Welcome aboard. Happy to have you. We've got Cheap Sync 5. Didn't the Pebble film himself eating in and out for the first time 3 times? That's The Rock. He is probably still reeling over the Maui fire scam.
He is as authentic as a get well card from The Undertaker. It is 100% like fake. He is as real as a $3 bill. Marvin has had his razor soup for breakfast. I need whatever book you're getting these lines. This is great stuff, man.
As honest or as genuine as a get well card from The Undertaker. Boy, I got to write that down. Bruce Newhouse for 199. He looks like the old dancing great adventure guy. Talking about The Rock again. We've got O2RR for 999. Real masculinity from Rocky. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. And we love that. You know how winning is done here?
Honestly, like who would have thought in Rocky 6, essentially, you'd get one of the best lines in the entire franchise?
I'll go out on a line. I'll tell you, I think Rocky 6 is the best. I know people disagree and say Rocky 1, but I think Rocky 6 is the best.
Rocky Balboa for me, is right after Rocky 2. It's Rocky 1, Rocky 2, Rocky Balboa.
I'm gonna go Rocky Balboa, Rocky
over 1.
Yeah.
Over the first one. Wow, you
Yeah.
really like that one? Okay.
I think the message of a guy who should not get back in the ring, but he just wants to live. Like the doctors say don't. His wife has died. He's going to the graveyard and he's like, I want to live. I'm not ready to just sit at home. I want to live. I think, because what that is that's like the idea of I would rather be alive and in pain than not living and in all comfort. And I think that's a deep-seated calling inside of us. And if we ignore it, we actually get into a place of complacency that leaves us, like it steals the spirit of adventure. And once that spirit of adventure is gone, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Okay, I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I try. Every once in a while, I find one like that. Fitty D is back.
Whoa!
Fitty D sticking it to RDJ. Why? Well, because RDJ says we shouldn't be getting this kind of stuff, right? I'm not saying that we're influencers, although I will say that if we have influenced any of you out there to be better and do better and make the world a better place and understand entertainment, well, what a great thing to influence, eh? So RDJ says that Fitty D should not be supporting us. Fitty D says, no, I think I'll drop 50 more.
Oh, here we go. It's time to party. It's time to live it up.
Every time a membership is gifted, a content creator gets his wings.
Was that gendered language?
We're not at Magic Kingdom, Dad.
A blindfolded half-court shot that is now the talk of campus and beyond.
Wow.
Are you kidding me? Did you see it? Yeah. Is that on tape? Yeah. You are kidding me.
Wow.
Thank you again, Fitty D. You keep the lights on and the radioactive hamsters running. Caveat Ties for 2 has Dwayne hit rock bottom.
I just would love to get a camera on Stone Cold Steve Austin watching him hear The Rock say, well, the most masculine men wear skirts. What?
Wouldn't that be fun?
I would pay for that.
What the hell are you talking about?
I would love, we should get a thing where 90s Like we make it look like the 90s. 90s wrestlers listen to today's masculine men and their responses. Would that not be great?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. We posted the article on from Geeks and Gamers on X. Somebody just responded with this picture of Stone Cold Steve Austin looking like, and I was like, that's the greatest response ever. That is the greatest response ever. Yeah.
Did you hear they've redone Crocodile Dundee and released it on Blu-ray and 4K, and they removed the parts they thought were problematic?
Oh, it sounds like I'm not buying it.
Yeah, Crocodile Dundee was just too masculine for them. Just too darn masculine. That's not a knife. We've got The First Dragon Queen for 2. Sneak peek is up on the community. Folks, go check it out. Go support The First Dragon Queen. We've also got Mushroom Madam out there for 5. Hollyweird has lost all of its charm and mystique at this point, along with the destruction of the stories we love. That was part of the draw. Yeah, and the other part of it is it's hard to go support films that star people we think hate us.
Yeah.
And for some reason, they've decided that's a great marketing strategy. Like, I don't know of any other industry on the planet that would go with that strat, right? I don't think McDonald's is going to come out with the idea of, hey, when people walk through, if we disagree with them politically or based, maybe they're a white male, they're part of the patriarchy, tell them you hate them before they buy the burger. Mm-hmm. I don't think that would work, but Robert De Niro, Mark Hamill, and so many more have decided that's the way to go in Hollyweird. Wendy is out there for 5. Celebrity endorsement equals influencer. That's the, yeah, they want to be influential. That's the whole, by the way, that's the whole lobbying industry that's worth billions of dollars in Washington.
I used when I was going on a trip, I used Priceline because of William Shatner.
Well, who doesn't?
Yeah, but much like with Scientology and their celebrity centers and things like that, those things have their times and place. Now we're out of that time and place. You're not going to be able to use celebrities to get people into your place anymore. And I think that's the point in society we are when it comes to the, movie stars, TV stars, and all of that. They no longer what they endorse, what they do, drop the taco, that kind of stuff doesn't sell anymore. Ask Brie Larson.
All right, we're jumping the line. England DG sends in 1 for 2. McDonald's released the new McCCP. Brilliant. Yeah, nothing like the McCCP. That'll get everybody excited. Juliet, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, Juliet, and so being so kind to us. It's amazing. And maybe, folks, if you like, share, and subscribe, McDonald's will send you a McCCP too. I'm kidding. They won't do that. They won't. We've got England DG out there for 2 again. You know who watched this interview with RDJ? Only us.
Probably.
Could be. Stormweaver for 5. Mr. Culture Casino, I am older than you.
I believe you. I believe you. There are some of us that keep up to date on everything, and then there are some of us that don't.
I declare you vintage Culture, and I still think you're a young spring chick of a man. But, if you want to be anything, it's not the OLD 3-letter word.
Okay.
I don't recommend anybody get old. Nobody who tried it liked it.
I'm mature like wine.
Exactly. William Shatner, by the way. He how old is he?
95.
He's almost 100.
Looks like he's about 70. He's doing rock music now.
95.
I'm acutely aware of how old he was because he had his birthday the day after he signed my piece of paper. So I felt
he just had his birthday. Like,
MegaCon.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, so you got to meet Shatner. Was he nice? Was he a kind person when you went up there and said, hey?
Oh yeah, he was nice. I mean, his line management was like super efficient. Like they were getting it through real good. But I walked up to him and I was like, I did the whole thing like, hey, Mr. Shatner, your work's really influenced me. And I wanted to ask you a really important question. He was like, what's that? And I was like, do you accept bribes? And he was like, what kind of bribe are you talking about? And I was like, a book? Right. So I was kind of like, this is the book, my sci-fi book that I wrote that, your life's work, kind of like help inspired. And he was like, oh, that's very sweet. Thank you. And then he signed my paper and I walked off.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, you've got Cuban Superman for 2. That politics place now, or we riot.
I already started to create some branding behind that, but I'm too busy gardening.
You need Kevin Apollo for that.
Definitely. Me and Kevin would be disastrously wonderful.
You got to release it at the right time. Timing matters, and we're not just blind about timing.
No.
Right now is not the correct time to launch something that would be political. There's also been the question of, would we ever do anything theological? And that's also, I think, a worthy question, especially given what we've seen happen in the conservative space, where authenticity is severely lacking. Some of the people who you believed in, you no longer believe in so much. And getting down, we talk about the truth with a capital T here, and we talk about the logos sometimes, not as much. Well, we don't discuss the logos, but it's the word from which we derive logic, of course. And it's mentioned biblically. I think there's a place for both of those down the road. It's just time management. At this point, I have so little free time or any time whatsoever. We're down to like measuring out 30-minute segments for me. And I know Marv is the same way, and Culture and Ron. Caro, I'm not as familiar with your schedule, but I bet you're pushed to the brink as well. But these things are needed in the world, and I don't ignore that. So we'll find a way. It's just on the way at the right time. Hang tight. We'll go there. And why? Because of the support from people like Fitty D. Thank you, Fitty D. And don't forget, folks, too, Pro will be going on camera soon. So who knows? We may blow down the whole thing when people find out I have 3 nostrils. They'll be like, I'm done with this. I'm never watching that man again. I've been thinking about that, too, going on camera soon, because we have to, YouTube is striking down AI stuff. I've been thinking about, people are going to see how I do some of the things I do with the microphone, right? When I drop it down and how I position my mouth around the mic. And I'm thinking, people are going to think I look very weird the way that I, have to do some of this stuff. I'm going to have to work on it.
I'm just going to take notes. I'll be like, oh, okay, so when he does that, then I can do that too.
Going down. Yeah. All right. But we'll be doing the Pro face reveal and studio reveal very soon. Tomorrow, when we're doing the live show for the Disney earnings call, I may have to step away for a few minutes because we've got some stuff being delivered for the studio. I've got a camera guy coming tonight to look at the studio. So we're doing all kinds of stuff, getting ready for that. Forced to by YouTube, and we'll do it with excellence. Detail Devil from 199. It's not Scort. It's a scant. He's not Unk. I would say aunt. I'll say ant. There we go. We made it rhyme. And we've got Thinking Heretic for 2. Chuck Norris needs to roundhouse kick The Rock.
Kevin Apollo used to do an impression of The Rock blading, which is in wrestling when you nick your forehead with a razor blade to make yourself bleed, and it would just be like, oh, like, because there's always been this thing about The Rock that he is kind of like a pansy. Like there was a shot of like Vince McMahon swinging a chair at him, and he had his hand out here. Like normally wrestlers will put their hand up like here. The Rock's hand is here.
He's such a weird guy too. I remember reading an interview with him where he was bragging about when he became what should we say here? When he became romantically active in the world. And it was at this super young age, and he was bragging about it. And I remember thinking, what a strange thing that you would be famous and you would actually care about talking about when you were 11 or 12 years old. And what a bizarre thing. And now, this 180 that he's pulled, it just makes me say, maybe he needs a lot of attention. Maybe he just needs a lot of attention, and he can't ever have enough attention however he gets it. But you know what, Thinking Heretic? I'm willing to deliver what you want to receive. I'm told on good authority that version of Darth Vader had The Rock inside. We've got Stormweaver for 25. I do wish I had the hair that you have started to lose. Mine at 17. Sigh. Culture. We got hair envy out there in the crowd. Stormweaver is very impressed with what has been blessed upon the top of your head. Not a cap, but your fortitude, sir.
Yeah, I've got to get ready to do another donation. So hopefully we can make more awareness of that, and I can get that done. Probably the last hair donation I'll do. It's mostly gray now. I'm not sure how desirable gray wigs are going to be going forward. I don't color my hair, so we'll see.
Wait a minute. You're going gray? No.
Looks perfectly natural to me.
You're a little bit more blonde. You're frosted, Culture.
No. Do you know who's a little bit more blonde is my pal Gary. I was looking at him yesterday, and I'm like, wow, Gary and I are looking more and more alike. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for Gary.
You're a silver fox culture, okay? Not gray.
Okay.
Although, if you wanted to be Santa Claus down the road, I mean, I think you listen.
I love playing Santa. It's one of my favorite things to do.
All right, we've got Sea Brew for 2. Pro looks exactly like his avatar. Glasses less though. Oh no, I'll be wearing the glasses and the hat and the blazer and I guess the Fitbit and all that. I have the cup. We're doing the whole thing, the whole shebang, as they say, ladies and gentlemen. Going live real soon. We'll have info, but first of all, we're going to do the legacy and raise money. By the way, I said last night that I would announce what the legacy is going to be for the charity, and I didn't do that last night. I'll go ahead and tell folks we will be putting the GoFundMe out there for the charity on Friday. We mentioned around Christmas time last Christmas that we had been informed of a family where a little boy was in the hospital, and while he was in the hospital, his mother unexpectedly had to go in for a medical thing. And she passed away while he was in the hospital on Christmas Day. And behind the scenes, some things were done. And unfortunately, things were done in regard to trying to make things a little bit better. Unfortunately, the young man's health is also not going well now. And we want to send huge support to that family. And so that's going to be our family that we work to take care of. The last time it was a little girl in Canada. And this time it's going to be somebody in the United States. But we're going to be raising money for a cause that I think, folks, really is deserving. Cheap skink out there for 5. Culture, what species of tomato would you use for container gardening? Due to space constraints, I grow some in the trash cans.
No, I get it. And look, I mean, a lot of it comes down to how much height you have, because if you want to control height, you want a determinate species. It says right there on the little descriptive for whatever you pick out at your nursery or your home store. So a determinate tomato will help to guide that. A lot of it comes down to like if you're making sauce or not with your tomatoes.
Determinate. Is that like
determinants are determined size. They usually have a shorter lifespan, depending upon the climate. Indeterminates are more of your vining style tomatoes. Tomatoes will spread naturally throughout your garden. If you just have an open garden, they just go crazy. Indeterminates are vining tomatoes that you can train upwards. So if you have vertical space, you can get an indeterminate in a 5-gallon bucket, and you can trellis it back down and then just load it full of tomatoes. And they grow for a long period of time. In the right climate, you can keep them for 5 years. You can grow your own tomato tree if you so choose. But if you
potatoes, fried green tomatoes, arugula. Hey, what's up?
When injustice strikes, I strike back.
Culture, casino, let's go. Culture, casino, let's go. When the EMS tries their best, strap him down, check his chest. Culture, casino, casino, culture, casino, casino. Culture, casino. Let's go, let's go. Culture.
I got to talk to Eric. I got to make that. That'll be a great comic book. I'm telling you right now.
I love the idea that you have a little slot machine in your chest and you just pull the lever to find out what power will I have today.
Sounds great. I feel like, what was it? Inspector Gadget. You just open my chest, the slot machine pops out.
Mushroom Madam for 2, your platinum blonde culture.
Oh, well, thank you. I wish that were true, but thank you.
He's gone plat. England DG for 5, Santa, I want a new Nintendo. As you would do it, culture. As you would do it for the kiddos.
You gotta get it. You gotta get it down. So let me bring it down. There.
That's wonderful, but young lady.
That's wonderful, but young lady, you are getting something better. A purple potato and some potting soil.
As my Santa then turns into Sean Connery.
You know what? Sean Connery as Santa would have been great.
Yes, I'll get you that present. And your mother, too. All right, we got the Fudge Dora showing up. Snarky opening the door to so many memberships. 5 more. Thank you, Snarky. We appreciate you. Well, hello, Lauren.
Let it go.
Got it before you got it.
I was just saying. I was like, don't say anything. Don't say anything.
Non-determinants have free will.
Okay.
Indeterminates, correct. Indeterminates. Not only that, they're great. Look, if you have limited space, another great thing about indeterminates is not only they grow very tall, but you can plant many other plants underneath them.
Is this still happening?
Oh, okay. I'll shush.
I only have so much Twitter. I scrolled all of Twitter while you talked. Literally the entirety of Twitter while you talked about this.
All right. Well, I tell you what, before we continue on, we've got to say goodbye to Miss Caro Brown. Caro, I want to thank you for stopping on by and helping us be set straight when it comes to what's going on in Hollyweird. Caro, is there anything you'd like to plug or talk about before we send you on your way?
I do. Actually, tomorrow is the day that we're launching Tales of Twisted Ravens, and so that's the charity comic that I'm doing in collaboration with Comic Books for Kids. And their mission is to bring comic books and bring them to children who are in hospitals and cancer centers, so that way they have something to like enjoy while they're going through a difficult period in their life. All the money that's being raised, all the net profits are going straight to the charity. I'm trying to aim for 50,000 because that's how much they need to get like part-time work to help. So if you are not interested, you can either still donate directly to Comic Books for Kids, or you can tell other folks who might be interested in it. And I would really appreciate that. Thank you.
Folks, we've got the link out there in the chat. You can click on that link and go check it out. Comic Book for Kids, Tales from Twisted Ravens. I think you will really be... well, it'll be a meaningful thing to get involved even beyond the entertainment aspect.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Caro, for dropping by. And we can't wait until the next time. Hopefully, maybe, possibly next Tuesday.
Yep. Next Tuesday. I'll be back.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
All right, Caro. See you soon.
All right. Bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have, we have a problem here, Marv.
Do we?
We do. We have the Tim Allen story, which is on the thumbnail. We have the story out of That Park Place that Supergirl may lose $200 million at the box office. And we should be talking about the Disney earnings call tomorrow. And I got stories on all this stuff. And we are down to 30 minutes left at max for the show. I mean, look at this. We've got Disney being called out by investors that maybe they even need to drop ESPN because streaming is sputtering for Disney. We got Supergirl losing big and James Gunn might be done. But I fear, Marv, we only have time for one more story.
Probably got to do Tim Allen because it's on the thumbnail.
I think we got to do Tim Allen. Folks, we'll talk about this deal where analysts are angry with Disney and Josh tomorrow over ESPN and streaming. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Probably about 10:30 a.m. Eastern time right here on the Pro Channel after Valiant ends. And we will then send you over to That Park Place at noon. We'll talk about that. And I'll tell you what, I'm gonna save that for tomorrow as well, the Supergirl story. But it really is starting to look like James Gunn is going to be done at DC. We'll talk about all that. But I think you're right, Marv. I think we make the pivot. We pivot to Tim Allen. Are we ready to do so? Lauren, can you pivot? Are you prepared? You know, these are the kinds of special effects you just can't get at most shows. All right, folks, it's Lauren in Profile. Culture, Marv, Ron, hold it. I'll stay right where I am. Folks, don't touch the dial. It's time to dive in. Actually, I've got to click a button. Lauren's going to disappear. We'll bring him right back. 3, 2, 1. Hey, Lauren, come on back. Still in the same position. Still looking good. Don't mess it up, Lauren. Go back. That's your good side. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It's the final scoop, and it's on the way right now. You know, folks, we have been covering on the channel story after story after story about Zegler and Blake Lively and Sarah Paulson and all these people who they're driving us crazy and they're destroying their industry. We've talked about RDJ hating on influencers. We've talked about The Rock saying real masculinity is wearing a skirt. Jimmy Kimmel is just about every other day now putting Disney in a bad place. Well, Tim Allen has had enough of that. Out of That Park Place by Trevor Denning, Tim Allen trolls No King's Crowd for fawning reaction to King Charles. As we read this, I want you just to consider. You don't have to believe me. You can think Pro's off the reservation. He's lost his mind. He's gone off the rails. But folks, just consider. that maybe Tim Allen is speaking about something bigger than just kings and the no kings protesters. Maybe he's calling out something bigger, something more hypocritical, something that's more broadly hypocrisy at large across Hollywood. Veteran comedian Tim Allen didn't hesitate to mock no kings protesters following King Charles III's recent visit to Washington. Since Trump returned to office, several organized events have accused the president of acting like a monarch. Many left-wing politicians and celebrities have been vocal in their support of these no kings protests. Yet when an actual king arrived to meet with President Trump and address the nation, many felt he was warmly received. It was an irony Tim Allen apparently felt was worth pointing out. In a historic event on April 28th, King Charles III spoke before a special joint session of the U.S. Congress, only the second time a reigning British monarch has done so. During his speech, the king received multiple standing ovations from members of both parties. Would you imagine that? Here's what Tim Allen said. Would have been funny to see the facial reactions of an actual king with a no king's parade yelling at him. Tim Allen wrote on X later that evening, including an image of King Charles at the podium with Vice President J.D. Vance and House Speaker Mike Johnson seated behind him. The post quickly went viral. Some users pushed back, arguing that the issue isn't with kings, but with those who feel they act like them. But many more comments signaled agreement with Allen. Quote, I just enjoyed the delicious irony of no kings protesters applauding a literal king in Congress. All right, here's the bigger thing about this. Lauren, if you could remove yourself from the profile position for just a moment. Lauren, it is completely and totally hypocritical, and Tim Allen is becoming more and more outspoken about just how silly Hollywood has become. And I'm starting to wonder, as we go into the Toy Story PR push, can Disney even put him on somewhere like Kimmel now? Is it going to become something that's uncomfortable with Tim Allen, who's now mocking openly Hollywood every chance he gets?
I think that would be too big of a risk to put him on something like Kimmel, because I don't think Kimmel would be able to resist taking a shot at him. And that's not something that's going to be good optic-wise for either the movie or Kimmel. So I think they would avoid doing something like that. If they're smart, I would hope they would avoid doing something like that.
I would love to see Tim Allen actually say what he thinks on Jimmy Kimmel. I would love it. I think that would be great TV. I think it might be the best ratings Kimmel's had in a very long time. Since the last time he lied about something horrendous.
When the last time the Tonight Show did anything was when they had Gutfeld on.
Oh, that's a good point. Well, that was on Fallon, but you're exactly right.
Yeah, the Tonight Show.
Yeah. Ron, as we look at this, the hypocrisy is stunning. I mean, you've got the Mark Ruffalos, the Mark Hamills of the world, no kings, no kings, no kings, always talking about Trump, but no king shows up, and suddenly
no
they
king,
got no
no
problem
king,
with that.
la, 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 la,
and I think Pedro doesn't Pedro do
all the time
fun dancing at the No Kings protest that we love to because he just loves to sizzle. That's why.
We got the list here on that place: Ruffalo, Marissa Tomei, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Glenn Close. All attended that No King protest, and you're right. I think Pedro was there. In fact, we played a clip before, folks. The whole fall fizzle. The whole reason we did that fall fizzle was because Pedro was actually, we'll play it. We don't normally do this in a segment, but we'll play the fall fizzle. Pedro was at the No Kings protest.
It's time for an autumn fizzle. For Grizzle, the skill are on the trees. It's time for an autumn fizzle. Cracker Barrel, mimosas, and strawberries.
So, I mean, that's the whole thing. He's dancing at No Kings protest. A real king shows up, Pedro's got nothing to say.
Yeah, and how awkward is it that they're out there? The fact that they are having a good time, they're enjoying it. This looks like a group picnic of a whole bunch of people. None of that would they be allowed to do if we had a king. That's such an irony.
Hey, Marv, let me take this in a strange place, Marv, but I think it'll make a lot of sense. You tell me what you think about this.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a specific reason Tim Allen can say whatever he wants to say, and there's nothing Disney can do about it.
Because Buzz Lightyear, yeah.
Because they saw what happened when somebody else played him, and they got to have more buzz. They got to have more buzz, so they're stuck. He is. They did what they did with Gina. They can't do it with Tim Allen.
Well, and plus he's the Santa Claus You know, they probably want to, bleed that dry a little bit more with another season of the Santa Clauses.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Tim Allen, and not to mention Home Improvement, they make a lot of Home Improvement reruns. I believe that was an ABC show.
Yeah, that's right.
So, I mean, and that's in syndication. So, yeah, Tim Allen is pretty firmly ingrained into the Disney machine. So they can't, like, could you imagine if they got rid of him for saying something like this while refusing to get rid of Kimmel? It's kind of like the I forget who it was, that one musician who just got rid of another musician from his group because she said that she was a conservative.
I saw that. I can't think of the name either.
Yeah, none of the free speech advocates who were talking about Kimmel being fired and being outraged about the idea of it were commenting on this at all.
It's just so delicious to me that they put themselves in a spot now where Tim Allen, as we go into Toy Story, he can say whatever he wants to. There's nothing they can do. There's nothing they will do about it because of how they have acted on their side. The more that Jimmy Kimmel does and goes where he goes, Disney is now stuck. I mean, if they do anything to any conservative, they'll get another Gina-style backlash. And the Gina-style backlash they had last time was they killed Star Wars. You're gonna kill your animation now? You're gonna kill Marvel if you come down on a conservative over there. If there is one, there isn't. Oh, maybe Chris Pratt, but they're not bringing him back yet, right? Culture, what do you think about this fair play kind of situation where Tim Allen is sort of he's living it up, man. He has no fear.
Yeah, I think that's good for him. To be fair, he's got plenty of money. Honestly, I think he could still go and do a comedy tour if he wanted to.
Have you been looking at his bank account again?
Well, no, he's done smart things since he started making money after he got out of jail, and he really has lived his best second life. And I think he's somebody you could look at and go, if you had a second chance to start again, you'd want to emulate a guy like him.
That's
and I think that financially, he definitely put himself in the best position. Becoming a voice actor was beneficial on top of all of his success in television, as Marv had already pointed out. But he could still go out and do, Netflix is a joke or something like that with Chappelle, or he could partner up with Chappelle. There's a lot of people out there that enjoy conservative comedians, and I think they're making a resurgence even on Shorts over on YouTube and places like that.
He's also doing well with shifting gears. I mean, his current television show is gone up in the ratings, especially in the last season. And he's always found, like, Tim Allen has a consistent audience and has found consistent success over almost any of the projects that he's done. And I think the primary reason for that is he's one of the few Hollywood figures that actually speaks to middle America.
Yeah.
I mean, it just feels like when a lot of Hollywood figures, they don't feel like they're speaking to me when they're doing whatever they're doing, like RDJ just did. But with Tim Allen, he's so relatable to, I think, the common American.
Marv, do you know the musician now, Marv? Who was the musician that fired?
Oh, I didn't care enough to look it up.
Oh, I think it was Kid Cudi. Is that right?
I don't know.
Yeah, somebody like that. Anyway, we're in a world now where you can be canceled immediately if you post the wrong thing, say the wrong thing. Tim Allen can say the wrong thing because he's Buzz Lightyear, and we all saw how that goes when Chris Evans plays the character. So Disney's just stuck with him, and sucks for them. But in all honesty, maybe with Josh tomorrow in the lead, maybe it's the time to heed the advice of the mainstream of the average American out there, who is, by the way, not average in the least. When they say, give us Tim or give us nothing, we want the based comedians back in our lives. Ladies and gentlemen, another video live stream of excellence is in the can. Snarky distinct nugget for two. I appreciate class. Tim Allen has maintained. We agree, Snarky, and thank you, everybody, especially Fitty D out there and Packing Protons and so many more who have given so generously. It has been a great time. Culture Casino is running that garden place, and he is the Bob Ross of tomatoes. Culture, what we got coming up this weekend? What are you going to be making? What are you going to be doing? What do you be
Well,
growing?
I'm actually planting a cover crop that anybody can do between their tall plants right after spring, and you start to develop some maturity, called white Dutch clover, and it's a nitrogen fixer that helps you rebuild your soil structure.
All right, white Dutch clover, and we promise YouTube that is not illicit in any way.
Or,
Ron,
Dutch white clover, you could say it that way.
That, however, is illegal in 17 different countries. Ron, you are going to be diving over to the dish, and that's where people are going to be going over in just a few. Ron, tell them what you got coming up on your show today.
Well, it's Revenge of the 5th, and yesterday was May the 4th, and I was out at Hollywood Studios to check out some of what was it was a day. Normally I don't go to the parks on days that are that busy because I don't like that many people, but it was interesting to see. So we'll be discussing how it went down and how disinterested the cast members seemed.
I'm so sorry to hear that you don't like many people, Ron. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you find many people who will be much better. All right, Marv is over the Info Empire, and Marv is also on That Game Place. And Marv, you've been joining up with Wizard for a live show. Tell the folks about that one.
Yeah, Culture Crossfire Thursday, we are starting Culture Crossfire at a brand new time. We're starting it at 9:30 a.m. So make sure you guys pop over there to see Culture Crossfire at its brand new early morning time. And we're gonna enjoy bringing you guys the news the way we do. I'm joining Lauren tonight for Lauren and Apollo. I do have permission to actually say this. Kevin has been absent because of a health issue, but he is on the mend and told me that today is the first day he's been able to be awake for more than 5 hours at a time. So he is on the mend and he is getting there. He'll be back soon, and he sends his love to everybody. So
that's right. We can't wait for Kevin Apollo to return, and we're wishing him all the best. Hopefully he is awake just enough to hear us say that we're wishing, thinking, and praying for Mr. Apollo. Lauren, anything else you want to add today? You've been here, and we've been profiling you, but what would you add to the show as we get ready to bid farewell to so many?
Thank you all for your kind attention. We appreciate every one of you out there. We think of you as family and friends, and we couldn't do this without you.
And you're inviting everyone over for a nice chicken casserole this Thursday, right?
Actually, you had contacted me earlier to ask if I could be here, and I told you I was cooking. I was making shredded chicken taco meat.
I knew the chickens had to be going down. Folks, we're going down. We're getting out of here. We'll send you to Ron with the dish while Lauren prepares his dish of freshly finished poultry. Be with us Friday, 9 p.m. The Legacy, raising money for a good cause. We'll see you, folks. Stay good. Make the world a better place. And don't stay in your place. Keep growing and going and moving upwards.
The shadow grows. We must act. The enemy has found the roost. Our arrows are ready. Order. Flock for the flank. By the line of roost. Take that, you brave! What have they done?
Mountains whisper tales of fire and frost. Shadows rise where the borders are lost. Through the woods where the ancient ones sing, I hear the call of the elder ring. One sword to guide me, one heart to bind me through snow and flame, through night and sky.
You're out in the countryside and you see chicken. Try to look a chicken in the eye with great intensity, and the intensity of stupidity that is looking back at you is just amazing.
it's true. All of it. I hate chickens.
The mainstream media just can't understand how it is we continue to do what we do. They don't realize that we are powered by you, and you are...
1.21 gigawatts! 1.21 gigawatts!
Folks, we've still got decades and decades left in the can. It drives the mainstream mad.
Would it make you feel any better if you knew that what we're asking Matt here to do is a holy thing?
You see, we're on a mission from God. We're on a mission from God.
Now you're gonna put me right back in the joint.
They're not gonna catch us. We're on a mission from God.
So folks, as we always say as we end each and every show here, and we mean it, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
Every time they hit him, he stood back up again. So they hit him harder. Still, he got back to his feet. Standing man.